You're watching Fine and Dandy. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Cameron, and you need to check out the Fine and Dandy podcast.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy.
Watch the Fine and Dandy podcast. Good shit.
Hey, what's up? We're Soe, and you're watching Fine and Dandy.
Hey everyone, it's your boy Blacasso, and you're tuning in with Fine and Dandy.
You are now watching Fine and Dandy!
Bueno, sí.
That the Alec Baldwin thing is kind of crazy because how did a fucking live round get put in there?
I don't know. That's
You know what I mean?
like, but he said that he had like safety protocols,
Well, they all do.
right?
All supposed, yeah.
So,
for every movie,
was there a
for sure.
point up to that point that someone snuck it in? You know,
That's what I'm saying. Was it like a sadistic person that was like, you know what I mean? Like,
was it like right before they handed him the gun? It would have to be right because there's
I
like
can't imagine it possibly could be an accident. How do you know what I mean? Someone had
no, because
someone
you
had to
checked
do it on-
you checked the gun, right?
Yeah, they're supposed to. Yeah.
They said prosecutors faulted the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed, 26, for not adequately checking the ammunition and for allowing live rounds onto the movie set in the first place.
Yeah, they're not even supposed
where
to
they
be
were
there.
supposed to be banned. She faces up to 18 months in prison. Mr. Baldwin, who's also been charged with involuntary manslaughter, is scheduled to stand trial in July. If convicted, Mr. Baldwin, who's 65, could also face up to 18 months in prison. Case stems from a fatal shooting on the set of a film Rust in New Mexico in 2021. They said he was rehearsing with a revolver when it fired a live round.
Also, I know we're late.
It
We
killed
were
the
just on the subject.
cinematographer and wounded the film. The reason we're on the subject is we were talking about the Crow. I had never known about the Crow situation, first of all, I'd never seen the movie or how Brandon Lee died. R.I.P. for sure. But like that just reminded me of this situation that happened recently, and this seems like a very much different situation.
That one was kind of more of a crazy with the Crow, considering that Bruce Lee had also died on set, and then your son also.
Brandon Lee is Bruce Lee's son?
Yes.
Holy
What?
shit, dude.
How do you not know about this shit?
You didn't know that?
Well,
No.
So is it? And then what's his brother's name? Jason.
I did not know that.
Is it his brother finished the movie? So in some of the scenes, it's actually his brother.
Damn, I was gonna
not
make
him,
a very
but there's
bad
face
joke
paint on
just
and
now. I
stuff
was gonna
that
be
and
like
everything,
Jet.
So it's like
Sorry.
Jet Li.
Still did it.
Yeah.
The most iconic scene at the beginning of the movie, whenever he is falling out the window, was made after he died. That was like one of the last scenes that they put together.
The falling out of the window scene.
Yeah,
That's
where
pretty iconic.
Where he dies, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's iconic.
In New Mexico, as in many states, involuntary manslaughter is defined as killing another person unlawfully but unintentionally. And I know this isn't important, but what is lawfully?
Like, if someone's
Well, I
on
mean,
your
if you're defending
property,
yourself, you can shoot somebody.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if someone's like on your property, you know, you're allowed to shoot.
So it says unlawfully but unintentionally. Can you do it lawfully and intentionally?
Yes. If somebody's breaking into your house, you can shoot them.
Yeah.
In New Mexico? I know you can in Texas.
Well, I mean,
I guess
hope
that's
you
my
can
question.
In every fucking state, bro. That shit's ridiculous. Bro, I'm sorry.
Have you seen- okay,
Some of
this-
these people are crazy. If somebody breaks into my house, I have the right to murk your ass.
have you seen all the squatter shit going on?
Oh, dude, I saw the lady that got arrested for trying, for the squatter shit. Yeah.
But there's a lot of shit that's been going on in the past like year or two that's been happening where it's like squatters will post up in your house, and if they're there for 30 days, it's their house.
Yeah.
How the fuck would you? How would you not know?
Well, I guess people who are like renting houses and possibly, which I don't get me.
How if they're squatting in your house for 30 days?
It's not their
becomes-
house, but they have
Yeah.
a right to stay there or something like
Yeah.
that. To where it's like you can't forcibly remove them.
You have to go through a courting process to get them out.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Which can take up to 90 days to get a court date, and then after the court date, it can take up to 90 days. So basically, for the next 6 months, this person owns your house.
What if you just break their and like punch them in the face?
That
You
would
could
be
get arrested.
That would be an assault charge. on their premises.
That's fucking wild. Are you serious?
That would be also
this
breaking
real?
and
This is
entering.
a
Yeah,
real
no,
thing?
yeah, I can look it up for you. But yeah, definitely.
That's gotta be the dumbest shit I've
What
ever
should I-
heard.
what should I
bro.
search?
Get
Like,
out of my
wild-
house.
Squatting, just squatting laws. Squatting
Squatting
laws.
laws.
Yeah, I would just look that
How
up.
about just get out of my goddamn house, bro? Did you buy it? Did you pay for it? Did you pay what?
There's a guy who actually made a
Somebody-
business out of like writing up fake leases and stuff like that to force the squatters out, or people who have squatters. But there are also people that are arguing the fact, because they're like, okay, if you're a type of person who's buying all these properties just to rent them out, fuck you. Squatters earned it by staying there if you're not actively checking your house for 30 days.
How did they earn it? They don't own it. They didn't pay for it. They didn't buy the property. They didn't work for that.
Not like earned it, but like it's like more of like, yeah,
I don't get it at all. I don't see any logic.
it's not. There is and there isn't.
I don't see any. Like
If I'm gone for a month on like work trip though, that's fucked up. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, also, I mean, if you
Maybe
have all these
vacation.
properties, rent them out. It's your business. It's what you do for a living. They're
I have a strong
impeding on-
stance against
I mean,
that. Though I don't really fuck
No,
with
it
that.
is fucked up for people to do that, and that's what like Bill Gates and shit does that. You know what I'm saying? Like he buys
My
up all his
stance
land
against
and
what?
doesn't even use it.
Yeah. What?
But I'm,
You have a
but I'm
stance
saying
against what?
like either way, like it's not theirs.
What do you have a stance against?
People who buy up a bunch of property and houses, sell them at a high rate.
Or they just rent them out.
Landlords- a
renting's
lot of
really not that bad.
landlords
Honestly,
just-
like renting them out's not really that bad.
Don't get me
honestly.
wrong. Like I understand buying certain properties, and maybe sell, or if you had a couple properties and you want to sell them, cool. But it's become such a it's
That's a
fucked
hot
up.
button topic.
it's real estate.
Also,
It's real
because
estate.
it's like I
It's a-
see where you're coming
business.
from.
It fucks
and
up the
how
market.
and how it can fuck up the market. But it also is like real estate is one of the like premier ways for under like resourced people to actually make financial freedom for themselves.
Yeah, that is one of the only ways. It's one of the
Not
only
one
ways
of
these
the only
days
ways, but it is one of the simplest ways for you
a-
to be able to like
an average
not have a
person
boss
can
anymore.
find
You
a
can
way
just
to-
turn
yeah,
property.
yeah, it's
So
one of the
it's
only
hard
ways
to
people to,
hate on
like-
it because there's it's like there are unrepresented people in this country that don't get the type of jobs that they should be getting for the work that they do that can turn a buck doing real estate.
But then
shit.
there's also
It
the
does
people
fuck
who.
up the market though.
But then there's also people who are under resourced and don't have a lot of finances that get fucked over because of those said people.
No, yes, you're not wrong because the type of person that we're talking about, whether or not they came from humble beginnings or not, are still on the foreclosure market looking for the next house that they can flip. You're not wrong. It is fucked up, but it is a business that pretty much anybody can delve themselves into.
Yeah, we
so
could
it's
all
hard
get
to
into
say
it.
that it
And we
sucks.
can all do it.
Yeah, but
because
if
it
I'm gonna
does-
buy land, I would rather like build a community
But
that's
that's you.
livable. Yeah.
I'm not saying
Which
that
is-
that's a
I-
bad thing. What I'm
What
saying
I said
is
originally
that
was
like,
fuck that.
what I'm saying is how do you build a community? You probably need some funding of some sort. What if you flipped a bunch of land, funded that shit, and then built a community? Then you're still building a community. It did take some fucking bullshit that you had to do, but I mean that's a lot of these people's decisions. Is that like I kind of want to get out of my situation and build something that I think is better, whether it's for my family or for my kids
But
or
you-
for the community.
But also,
But
on
it
another
does
note,
take a lot of like playing the game in certain
some
situations.
people can't do that. But a lot of these people that are buying up these properties are bigger businesses.
You're
bigger
not wrong. That's
corporations.
because that's not who I'm
Fuck
talking
Bill
about.
Gates. Like I don't give
Yeah,
a fuck.
okay,
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
but he's like one of the biggest people do it. Like I think he's a good example because he is so outrageously rich that he can literally buy all of it. And at that point, a lot of the property it's not necessarily a monopoly, but it's like a property version of monopoly. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's he owns all of it, right? And he can do whatever he wants with it. And so it's like he's buying all the farmland right now, right? And it's like, I mean, he's not gonna farm with it. That's not his plan. You know what I mean?
he might, but not the way that we
Then he
expect
owns
him.
all of that.
Yeah, that's
He
the point.
owns all the food we eat. He
Yep.
owns, you know what I mean? Like it's
That's the
still
point.
either way, whatever he does with it, he has now control over a huge part of our lives, which he already does have an outrageous amount of control over all
All right,
of our
guys.
lives.
Squatter.
Let's find out the truth. The squatters law in Texas. We're just talking about Texas. It's fucking different for everywhere. But in Texas, the law gives them the rights to the property even if they don't legally own it. As long as the squatter isn't served an eviction notice, they are legally allowed to live on the property and over time could gain legal ownership rights over the property. It is not uncommon for a landlord to spend months or years trying to remove squatters from their property. That's why preventing the problem from happening in the first place is key to maintaining ownership over your property. For a squatter to make an adverse possession claim, they must first meet 5 distinct criteria. Why? I don't think I should go over this. I don't think I should.
We could squat. We could squat if we want to. Fuck it.
Well, yeah, right. Well, okay. So here's my thing. Hire them. Hire them to watch the property. Pay them.
But then
Give
at
them a
one
fucking
point,
job on top of it.
the point is that at one point,
If we're saying that it's taking advantage of people to have the property, but you don't even pay attention to it.
at one
Right?
point
You just have it.
At that
And
point,
then-
you'd be paying them to steal your house from you.
No, but but you,
Because
you'll
if they
never
live
have
there
a
long
squatter
enough, they
problem
get
again.
ownership rights to a degree.
Never have a squatter problem again. And somebody just got a job.
Unless they're like, yeah, we'll take your money, and then they're like, nah, it's our house.
I like your thinking here, but you're basically just giving them the house regardless
Well, I'm
at
just
that
trying
point.
to think how you could turn it into a productive situation, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I do
you
like
know,
the
like
thought
I mean,
process.
like okay, we just created more jobs. Like, that's one thing. I mean, not that it would really. A lot of these squatter people are fucking meth heads, though. I mean, let's be honest.
Hey, they know their rights.
Yeah, dude. Have you met some of these people? They're so good at the law, and it's like you might as well have been a lawyer because they know how to work around everything. They'll put more energy into that. It's like, why didn't you just do something with your time?
Because they are. Meth.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously they found their thing. They're sticking with
Doing
it.
meth.
Okay, so Texas is 10 years. You have to be there for 10 years.
10 years.
What do you mean?
You have to be on the property for 10 years.
Okay.
You have to.
So look, it says you have to make a hostile claim, and in a legal sense, hostile can be defined as 3 different things, which is not knowing that you're occupying someone else's property, knowing that you're occupying someone else's property, and a good faith mistake, which is the assumption that the squatter is relying on an incorrect deed to occupy the land. Basically,
Okay, so this is not homeless people on your land. This is
no, it is. It is, because the second one was they know that they're occupying your property. That's them. They have a knowing sense.
Wait,
There's 3 different 3 different definitions of a legal hostile
So
claim.
this is for the person that's
Not
filing
knowing-
against them.
Not knowing you're on my land, knowing you're on my land, and thinking that you were sold the deed to me, but understand that it's incorrect and are just trying to get away with
right,
it.
but you still
Those
have to
3 things are a
justify it in court.
hostile claim. That's just one.
Yeah,
Yes,
you still have
to justify it in court.
Like, so more than likely, no, they're not going to see the homeless person. Ah, shit.
The other person has to justify that
Gotta
they
give it
haven't.
to 'em.
The other person has to justify that they haven't made that claim, though. That's the problem. It's not that they have to. They can just say, "Yeah, I knew I was here."
But if there's a fucking homeless dude on your property and they're like, you take him to court or a crackhead, whatever, and you do that, the court's not gonna be like, shit,
You got to get them to show up to court first and foremost.
Well, true, but if they don't, then there's repercussions anyway.
To a degree, but not to the thing. So look, besides just occupying the property and making a hostile claim to it, a squatter must treat the property like their own. They can accomplish this in several ways. For example, beautifying the property by landscaping or conducting other home improvement projects, counting as treating
have
the
to
property as
improve the
their.
property.
They don't. They can just act like they are. They seem like they, which is
But
could
they
simply
have
just
to-
be like
that's what I'm
hanging
saying.
Christmas
they can
lights.
act like they are, but the
You can
court's
mow the
gonna wanna-
lawn.
The court's gonna want to see it. Like,
Correct. Live
be
there
like, well, how did you do
continuously
it?
for 10
And-
years. This one is the interesting one because it says they have to have lived in the property continuously for at least 10 years. They cannot leave or abandon the property for weeks or months at a time and still make an adverse possession to the claim. This one's crazy because
think
if you
that's-
have a shed, it's on your land. And if
Fuck,
someone lives
dude.
in your shed for 10 years and you don't find out about it and they just never knew, but they have like a
Gotta get another
calendar
shed.
that they can prove that they've been scratching days and taking pictures. This is me, motherfucker. I'm here. God damn it. He still doesn't know. And they are able to stay there for 10. 4, possess the land or building exclusively. Must occupy the property by themselves. They're in that shed by themselves, motherfucker. You better go check your sheds. Go check your
Dude,
goddamn
but I
sheds,
don't-
motherfuckers.
Okay, here's my thing. I don't even have a fucking shed.
Well, what I'm saying is
No,
like,
no, I mean, like
maybe
like,
your
do I-
attic.
Do I gotta get a shed?
You gotta get a shed.
I gotta get a fucking shed.
All right. Then they have to make it obvious to the general public that they are living there. But I feel like that can be very hard to prove that they're not making it obvious to the general public. You know what I mean? Like, how can you prove that they're not making it obvious? By like, if he just has
That's what I'm
4
saying.
friends,
All this
I could
is
just tell
decided
4 of
by
my
a
friends
judge,
to
the
show
court,
up.
Whichever,
Right.
Like, they're not gonna just give it to some random person.
Well, you said
They're
it's
not
just-
gonna agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff is largely probably people with weird property disputes and
Ooh, here's one. This is probably something squatters don't know. Squatters in Texas need to pay taxes
up.
for the property they're living on
Oh, see,
in order
Can
to
they
make
afford
state
it?
claim.
Can they afford it?
I mean, they're saving on rent. I think they can afford the property tax.
The thing is, as
Property
much
taxes
as
are expensive, bro.
yeah, there's a lot of things I hate about. Well, not Texas is the cheapest out of most states, unfortunately.
Thankfully. What do you mean, unfortunately?
For the squat people who are dealing with squatters.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was about to say. I was like, that's a good thing.
No, it is a good thing, but I will say, out of Texas does have a lot of shit.
So you
Our
can serve a
property shit's
3 days
pretty
eviction
sweet,
notice.
honestly.
Yeah, the property
for-
shit's
as
pretty
far as
solid.
other states, like I mean, ours is pretty. Sweet.
Yeah, especially with
That's
there's
why
some,
everybody moves here.
there's
No,
some
yeah,
places
there's
with
some
worse
states that
squatter
are
rules.
fucking way worse. This is
Oh, I
like
bet.
this
Fucking
is
probably
light.
like what San Francisco probably has.
I'm
horrible
thinking
laws.
like maybe
Which-
Portland,
which,
Oregon.
Oh, Portland's got to be bad.
Portland's
New
probably
York's
bad.
No,
Let's
New
see
York. They
Portland's
take property very.
squatters' rights. Let's do
What
a
is-
fucking comparison.
Which city is it that you're basically legally allowed to just steal shit and they can't really like stop you?
Oh, that's kind of like all over the state of California.
Is that is it a California thing? I thought it might be New York.
I know
Is
it's
it California?
definitely an LA thing, but I'm pretty sure it's a state of California thing where they like started telling cops to just like anything that's under $900, just don't even stop them.
That's fucking wild.
You know what I can steal for $900? So I'm not
That's what
trying
I'm
to steal
saying, dude.
anything.
I'm gonna drive to California. I'm gonna steal a bunch of fucking TVs and I'm gonna bring them back here and sell them. What I'm gonna do.
See, okay, so the thing is, minimum occupation required in Portland is 10 years, but property taxes are not required.
Interesting.
All right, so
So that's probably
we're
close
just
to the
informing
same.
all the any
Let's see-
squatters that are watching this.
Let's see
episode and listening.
worst squatters' rights U.S.
But the thing is like they have to prove that you weren't there for 10 years. You could be like, no, I've been here.
Yeah, how can
Yeah,
you
exactly.
prove that
Yeah,
I
the
haven't
court,
been
that's
here?
what I'm saying. The court's gonna be like, you better really prove it.
But the
No,
thing,
I think it's the other way. I think the person that owns the property has to prove that they haven't been there for 10 years. I don't think the squatter has to prove it. They can just say
The
so.
squatter doesn't have to defend themselves.
I'm sure they have
That
to
doesn't
defend
make
themselves to a degree, but I don't think that they have to provide evidence like that.
I mean, they're the defendant. They have to defend themselves. It's not their property.
Are they the defendant?
Yeah, it's not their property.
Or are they
have to
on the
defe-
offense
they
for
have to
not trying to
defend-
be evicted?
Well, I
Because
mean,
these
that's
are
just- well,
their
now you can
squatters'
run that in
rights.
circles, but
Because they're using
but
their
they're having
these
to
are
defend the
squatters'
fact that
rights.
They have a right to be there.
Because what we're looking up are squatters' rights, not fucking
why do they have
tenants'
rights?
Yeah, why do they have rights for that? in the first
This is
place?
what this is
What
what
the
they're
fuck is
people
that?
too, Daniel.
yeah, no, they have the right to your home if you weren't there.
Yeah, weren't there.
You pay the property taxes and you own the house, but they
Dude, you know how
also
many
have
houses
rights.
Oprah has. I bet you some of them she has not been to. Just saying.
And the thing is, realistically, you don't even really have to be there if you have shit set up there long enough, whatever, for a consecutive amount of time. You can just be like, no, I was here.
Yeah, see?
And then you just pop up one day and be like, nah. And
Have
then,
your friends show up and make dinner there every couple days.
and then you all you have to do is like, all right, ask her about what's in the
In
toy shed
Maryland, a
in
woman
this-
returned from vacation to find 2 squatters in her bed. They were not only living in her house, but also sold about $50,000 worth of her furniture. What? I can't assault this person?
yeah. Well, I was.
Okay,
should have shot him, honestly.
What's the rules on breaking and entering on?
Right.
Just breaking and entering.
Yeah, but like,
But also,
are they not breaking and entering?
here's the kicker.
They
Don't
are.
a lot of people keep like the deed of their houses at their house. So if they're there, how can they say that it's not their
You have to.
deed?
Yeah, you have to. Well, your name has to be on it.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like a
I don't
car.
know deeds
Same-
like
it's
that.
like a car, but more.
But more.
I thought,
It's
that,
like-
I thought that's the mortgage. I thought the deed of the house was separate. I thought it
No,
was just a piece of paper.
No, I'm pretty sure you have to sign it. Your name
This
has to be
is
on
the
it.
deed.
Your- my
I
name is
declare.
on
I
it,
do
yeah.
declare that this house owns
Right.
by.
I don't think you get to. I have.
Give me
the
that shit.
deed. Where's your proof?
It's
of
not a
payment?
pink slip. I
Where's your
mean, whenever
proof
you
of
give your
purchase?
fucking pink slip to somebody because you lost in a race, you don't have to. They don't have to sign the fucking pink slip. They just have
Yeah,
it.
if that one pink slip doesn't really do it, you still have to go get it registered and everything like that. Like, you have to pay the.
Not if you
pay
can
the state
fucking
for the
drive off
transfer of the
away from the
car.
coppers at 270 miles per hour.
Are you making Fast and Furious references?
Only if
Okay,
you're my
alright.
family.
In Texas, though, it's like if they do want to like file charges against you, it could become a criminal charge. Where like trespassing and breaking and entering is a criminal charge.
Yeah.
but right away, like they have to give you like notice.
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's like,
But it's like, why do you have to
them
give
an
you
eviction? It's like, why do I have to give you an eviction
To my house.
to my fucking property? Like, I
No, you
own
have to
this
write.
shit.
Give me a 24-hour notice. What? Bitch.
Is that signed by
like
a
my
judge?
granddad has a ranch, right? It's a big piece of property. Why the hell does he? If somebody's chilling on his fucking land and they're there for, why does he have to be like, hey, papers says you gotta get out of here in the next 30 days?
But that's why a lot of people will tell you in the state of Texas, if someone's on your property,
shoot him.
better to kill them.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because
They can't testify.
Jesus Christ.
dude.
Where
one
is
in
this
the-
conversation
One in the
gone?
noggin does a lot.
It's fucked
You
up.
know what I mean?
What?
Which part?
The killing them
Shooting
part
them or-
because it's
Not
of
encouraging.
the
Not encouraging
the
that. If it is your
witness shit
property and
part,
someone
that
is
part,
breaking and entering,
testimony part, that part.
No,
Yeah.
just keep in mind if you shoot somebody and they live on, even
They're
if it's
gonna
on,
sue your ass.
yeah, they can sue you even if it's on your own property.
Yeah, because if they can't work for a period of time, then well, he shot me. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, man.
I can't walk right. And I can't lift boxes.
Dude, this
at
is-
my
So
job.
just because I made one bad decision, now I should
I
spend the
was
next
addicted to
rest of my
crack.
life without a fucking back?
I was
Is that good fair to you, Your Honor?
I was addicted to crack and I made bad decisions. That doesn't
Your
mean I
Honor-
should get shot.
Your Honor, your son's addicted to crack. You know what it's like.
Does
Come
this
on.
court not believe?
Are you talking to the president or?
Oh, shit. Do we not
As long
believe
as
in
he's a judge.
rehabilitation in this court, Your Honor? Got a point.
I mean, my son's going through it right now. It's like prosecution. You got anything
You have a
else?
son?
Hey man, name's Cole Junior.
Oh man.
You don't talk to your father that way.
Yeah. I am not calling you daddy.
Hey man, I wouldn't like it. I
That's
wouldn't want it.
incest.
Yeah, sure.
That's Julie.
What? Why?
Calling your
Calling
father.
him daddy is incest?
Oh, he's a grown man. You're a grown man.
You can refer to your father.
You
as
know what
whatever you want.
incest is?
What do you guys call your dad? What do you guys call your dad?
Papa.
Really?
Papaya.
Really? What do you-
No.
I actually do call my dad daddy only because it pisses him off the most.
He calls him Pops.
I do call him pops.
goes by
I call him
Pop.
pops a lot.
I just
Pops
say
is
dad,
his-
but
Whenever I want to
wanna
piss
start
him off,
saying
I'm like, "Hey,
father.
daddy," just to piss him off. But no, I
That's
definitely call him
funny.
pops. That's my pops.
That's funny. I really want to start doing I want to start calling my dad father. I think it's funny.
Faja.
Father.
My dad's my stepdad. Call him by his first name.
I go.
Neil. Jeff Neil.
But he's my dad.
Jeff
I refer to him as my
Re-
dad, if that makes sense.
Simmons.
I do both. I don't like explaining to people like the stepdad dad situation. So a lot of time I just say dads for both of them.
I feel like I'm too comfortable
Honestly.
explaining
got
my
two
dad's
dads.
situation.
I've had to do it so many times. I just
tell,
stop.
like,
I'm my
everybody.
dad, and I'm like, then people are like, I thought your dad did this for a living. I'm like, nah, other dad. I'm like, because
He's got two dads.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
it's
Must be
too
nice.
much to explain all the time.
Yeah.
Too
Must
much
be
to
nice,
explain.
right?
When he was younger, they're like, your mom's jokes on you. I got two dads. Like, Kai, you're gay, homo. And then they bullied you.
Hey,
hard.
dude.
Dude, that's not
Come on,
very
aggressive.
fucking rainbow
Bro,
flag
yeah,
of you.
let's not do that. Ah, damn.
That's not very ABCD of you.
Damn, Daniel.
Being more offensive than I was at that point.
I meant to say alphabet, honestly, but yeah, it came out the wrong way. It's fine.
Yeah, I think you're
Life
Dave
works.
Chappelle. You're not, dude.
I don't
You
think
guys
I'm
were doing-
anybody
what if
but
you guys
me,
were
G.
just squatting, right? You know, I had a friend that actually did do that.
Did squat.
Yeah. They
Is this-
like a whole ass house in Deer Park, and it's like
Dude, what if you
Deepwater
got to year
area.
year
Deepwater
9
area?
and they caught you?
they were there for like probably like 5 years.
I'd
I
be
think.
so pissed if I
There's
got
a-
to year
in a
9.
house. In a house.
If I
There's
got to year 9 and got
there
the
was-
eviction notice, bro, I'd be so mad. Like, bro, fuck,
They
I was
were-
1 year away from owning this.
They did
bitch.
not have water. It was no. Yeah, it was a very unfortunate situation. Like all jokes aside, that it was very.
So they were
Yeah.
homeless.
So we can't make fun of
Well,
this.
they had a house. They were living in the house. They were siphoning electricity from the neighbor's house.
So they weren't squatting.
That's exactly what
weren't.
that was.
Do they live there?
They were squatting in a house that they were. So first and foremost,
Is it their house?
squatting
No.
doesn't mean just like staying in the in a room somewhere. Like you have to understand that there's plenty of think of Bay Colony as a neighborhood. There's one of those houses out of the thousands of houses in that neighborhood that probably hasn't been moved into in probably 10 years.
It was like semi rundown, but it like.
So they were
not-
homeless beforehand.
No, they had an
Okay.
apartment, and
You
then
have lost me.
They did not. They did not pay for rent or own this house. That
They
were
moved
living in.
into a house that they
Yes.
did live in, but
No,
did
no,
not
no,
pay
they
for.
Found the house. They found the house. It was in Deepwater in Deer Park. And,
First of all, they lived in it. No. So why are you saying no?
Wait, I just had an epiphany. If I rent out a house
Jesus Christ.
for 9 years,
And
11
then
months,
Squat in the last.
I
10
don't
months.
pay the whole last month. I've been here for 10 years.
I mean, you would have paid a lot
that,
in rent,
that
to be
would be
fair.
worth it for you after that whole time of paying.
Yeah,
it.
you
You're
would have
like,
paid a
yeah,
lot
got
in
you.
rent. You paid
That last
so
month, you
much in
fucking
rent.
douche.
Hold on, you want to see how much you would have paid in rent? Let's do a calculation real quick.
You know how much I saved on that? Doesn't look good on your rent.
I mean, but you got to think, but usually, for a house, you got to pay,
Let's say
you
you
probably pay
pay-
30 years to pay it off.
yeah, no, okay.
But what if they already bought the house and it's paid off? I don't got to pay
this
anything.
house,
Yeah,
they
you
literally-
pay
they
a
just found
mortgage
this
for
house.
30 years.
They just didn't say
What?
anything to
Yeah, you
anybody.
pay a mortgage for 30 years.
Yeah, it's like
Some people do.
They-
right. At that point, I'm paying to own, right? For 10 years. Think about it.
I mean, after all the legal fees and shit, it might be about the same though.
They're paying the legal fees, not me. I'm not going.
Depends on the state.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll get a quarter point lawyer. Fuck you. Go ahead.
Quarter point lawyers like, Your Honor, I think these guys should get the house.
So they found this house. There's nobody living there, right? It's like semi rundown. They didn't talk to anybody. They didn't do anything. They just moved into the house.
You know these people.
Yes.
See, but they didn't.
One of my best. He was one of my.
They
best friends
already
when I was
didn't
younger.
meet one of the markers. You're supposed to make it obvious to the public that you living there.
They kind of did a little bit, but they
Isn't
were
that as
siphoning
easy as just throwing
electricity
a
from the
party?
neighbor. They were siphoning electricity from the neighbor.
Yeah.
Did not have running water.
How
That's
do you
sick.
siphon
I didn't really ask him too much about that, but they definitely were. Sometimes he just didn't have electricity, and
But he had electricity sometimes? He didn't pay
Yeah.
for it.
no, and they siphoned. Somehow they got on one of the other neighbors' Wi-Fi. So that's how he got Wi-Fi.
When I hear siphon, I think
And,
of siphoning gas,
gas.
but when then I think of siphoning electricity, I'm thinking like, how the fuck?
Right, it was brutal. There was holes in the floor, like the floor had caved in. Some places, it was like they had like 20 cats everywhere.
Yeah, I think you should
weird,
probably
man.
shed the cats. I think, at that point. But
Cats were on purpose, apparently.
yeah, no, it's 20 of them, I would assume.
The
I
whole
would
house
assume it
smelled like
wasn't an
cat.
accident.
Yeah, I don't. I was not
Yeah,
guessing.
everybody's smoking cigarettes inside. It was.
Oh, so
this
no,
sounds tough.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they didn't
no,
have
they were
all the-
there for a hot minute. And they got kicked out. They literally were like, "You got to get out of here." That was it.
It's
See, but
probably the
you don't
cats and the
gotta.
cigarettes. That's probably what got. They were like,
That's the conversation here is that they didn't gotta get out of there. They just did because they were told
Well,
that they gotta
they
get out
lasted
of
there for so long because they were probably working that. You know what I
there.
mean?
That angle.
Like, yeah, they were probably working the angle for a little bit, but that's what I'm saying. Like, eventually, it's like, no, you're not gonna win that. Like, if you're not gonna win,
I don't know,
the person
dude.
that pays for the property is more than likely always.
There was a story of a lady in Texas that just like basically showed up, moved it into this house, and whenever a lady got back and like found her there, she was like said that she had the lease on the house before this lady did, and then locked her out.
The lease,
Yeah.
like a rental house.
No. Like
The
I guess
lease
the
is-
mortgage, the lease on like I was leasing this
deed.
house before you were.
Deed.
No, like I was leasing this house before you were, and
Yeah,
then
the
locked
deed.
her out.
Yeah, lease is for rental houses.
Okay, well,
Like
any
you're
house is
leasing
a
an
rental
apartment.
house if you're leasing it now,
Damn, that's crazy. Just moved in and just said, "Fuck you,"
and locked her out. Yeah,
Locked her
so-
out, said, bye.
but that's the thing is now that person has to go prove that she wasn't leasing the house before her, and that even if she was, that lease was broken or termed or something
I
like
hate
that
everything about that.
before she
Like, I
can move
mean,
back into her
you
house.
just- how are we doing this?
I think
That
the
is such
question
a
is that we're
bizarre-
not doing
that
this.
is such a bizarre law. Like, that's so strange.
Like, how can you? I don't know. I don't know how we got onto this topic, but here we are.
that's just-
the crow.
The crow.
Yeah, the crow is what got us here. Yep.
Bro.
Bro.
LaCroix.
That's so strange.
I
I mean, seriously, come on. Like,
Yabba
that's
dabba
so
doo.
weird. Yabba dabba doo. That's like, what the fuck?
Dude, yeah, I don't know. The shit's ridiculous because, I mean, you would like to think that you could protect your property, but, like...
That it just revokes any control you actually have over your like, you can pay for it, but then somebody could just take it away because they were like, "Oh, I was here long enough."
And it's not like the bank's going to stop fucking charging your mortgage just because that person lives
No,
there
but
now.
that's the other thing. That's the other thing. It's like the bank wants their money. It's like, so then the person that originally had bought it and is having a squatter on their land, they're gonna be like, okay, well, why should I pay so much? It's not all mine. Yeah, but they can legally argue that. They're like, why am I paying that much then? If I just lost some of my property, then how can that, like, obviously my
Is that a harder
then they want
battle
their
to
money.
win than the squatter one? I'm not saying they don't want their money,
The
but what
squatter's
I'm
not gonna win.
saying
I'm
is
telling
that,
you,
like,
most of the time the squatter's not.
what I'm saying is that if you stop paying, they can just fuck your credit, and you'd have to fight to get that unfucked.
It's too much financial stuff. This is hurting my brain.
This
I like
sucks,
thinking
dude.
about laws and money and squatters, and I've experienced squatters, dude. Pretty wild.
I'm not saying you haven't, dude.
It's pretty wild.
Protect your properties, guys. Check your sheds.
I don't know why this guy wanted the house. I think it finally got bulldozed like last year.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Over bullshit.
It was it was considered like unsafe to live in.
You know what else is unsafe to live in and bullshit?
The human body.
Nickelodeon.
Oh shit, dude.
There it is.
All right, yeah, no.
There
you
it
can
is.
do it.
Is that high?
You watched it. You gotta. I mean.
Yeah, no, you got to give us a little bit
we
of a
haven't seen
briefing
it.
on
We
like
haven't
the
seen it.
situation. 'Cause, I mean, I
Spoilers,
think I know
guys.
most of the situation
Spoilers,
without knowing most of the
apparently,
situation.
Giving all the spoilers.
TV and film industry takes advantage of kids.
No way. Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Nah, this is my problem with it though. Look, I'll give a rundown, kind of. Essentially, they focus on Dan Schneider the first episode, just basically being like, "This guy's a shitty
He
boss and
owned-
makes
To
weird
be clear,
jokes."
he owned Nickelodeon. Was he or who
No,
was
he's
he?
an executive producer of Drake and Josh and multiple different shows.
He was
that
the
were
head.
on
He's the
Nickelodeon.
lead writer. He was the main.
Oh,
Like,
he's a writer too.
yeah, he
Oh.
wrote the jokes.
The scenes produced a lot of it with.
I did
yeah,
not like that guy because I didn't like Nickelodeon.
I love Nickelodeon,
Okay.
but that's
that guy.
yeah.
The
So-
guy whose
I
name
already
was
don't
on
like that
like
guy.
all
Before
the
I find
shows
out
you
he's a
didn't like.
pedophile.
Well, he's not a pedophile.
He is a pedophile. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not
is
with
it bad
you.
that I kind of wanted him to be a pedophile?
Well,
so
we
He's a
don't-
pedophile.
We don't know.
I know.
That didn't come out as the document. So he made. So the thing is with him, it was most focused on like he made a lot of crude jokes because like he wrote a lot of jokes that like for kids were like a little like
It happens.
that. Well, no,
That
like
part- like what? Like
like-
what?
like he had like Ariana Grande like upside down like pouring water on herself like, and then like she's like, you ever try to get juice out of a potato? And she's like,
He wrote a scene where he was in a hot tub with like a 14-year-old Amanda Bynes.
where he was in a hot tub?
He
Yeah.
Why
was in
he
a
the
hot tub.
episode? Oh, yeah, actually.
Yeah. And then there was
It
another episode.
Probably, I don't even know if that episode aired.
It did.
That it
Yeah.
aired.
Then there was another episode of all that where the kid was in. He was like nose man or something, right? But it looked like dicks on his shoulders.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But then
But
he
it's
would.
for kids, bro.
But like the thing is, like
Okay.
the thing is, everyone. It's like what he was saying is like at the time writing kids for jokes and things we're gonna find funny, but it's like everyone looking back on it as an adult, it's like, hey, that looks like the phallus, you know. But like the thing is, like then he would the kid had a big nose and he sneezed, and then it would cut frame to the other person, and goo would go all over their face.
Right.
So you know,
Right.
right?
Okay, but like,
It's a
if we were
euphemism.
kids, we were watching it. Like if you realize, like,
I would have never
Like,
thought that.
Not just that, but if you did find out about that, you'd probably, as that age, you'd probably be laughing your ass off. Like,
Right.
dick arms. Like,
I
you
think
know what
my
I'm saying?
I
Like,
think my perspective is that like it just like it's the framing of the situations
that's-
that
yeah,
you're
yeah,
putting.
yeah.
You're supposed to
kids
create
in.
a safe environment for kids, but you're not.
yeah.
And the thing was also,
Sorry, not defending. I'm just saying. Like,
I know
dick
that it
arms-
is funny,
like,
but
dick
but
arms
like
is
I
pretty
think the
funny.
point of it is that like they're trying like the point is that you can
Sneaky dick
you can write a scene that has fucking something that's funny
It's
is
the
like
implications.
dick arms with like to sneeze, to have that to be pointing something is like, but that's funny to excuse everything else type shit. It's like,
It's the implication.
if that was funny, then maybe you would have thought this was funny, but you just didn't like it.
Yeah.
But this is all just me trying to be funny. But it's like, or this is you trying to be weird.
Let me just get through.
No,
playing
I wasn't
it off
defending
as
him.
being funny.
It's
I'm not
definitely
saying you
creepy.
are.
I was
Let
just
me
saying
get through the
dick
summary.
arm
There's
thing.
three episodes. So let me just get through the summary and then we'll dive into it here.
All right.
So then
How
essentially,
dare you?
so essentially, it talks about that, and then it also like there was I believe another episode that was kind of like that, where it was like kind of like a dick thing, and then it was like goo, and then there was the on-air dares that supposedly Dan Schneider in the interview said that the executives want to do like a Fear Factor, but for kids, right? So you have to figure out all this shit that's like, what can we do? But there was some weird ones, like they covered a dude in peanut butter, had dogs come lick peanut butter off a kid. It's a little weird. Yeah, that's a
kinda
little weird, right?
Like, well, okay, like the kid's naked or something, or
No,
I mean,
he-
if they're
kind
just
of.
normal, I mean, it's like
his shorts on, but his
what
body.
kind of shorts.
Like swim trunks, probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He's like, what was the
Jesus
Shane
Christ.
Gillis bit?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but yeah. So there was that, and then like supposedly like two women were splitting a salary, but he was like, they do that a lot with new writers. If you've never written on a show before, the package deal, like you can split your salary with somebody else, right? Or you can pass. Essentially, like if you're a new writer, they only have so much budget to hire people on. But they can get two writers for the price of one if they want to hire, you know what I mean? But like if you've never written before, they can get two new writers for the price of one rather than getting an experienced writer and paying full.
So
Which is still fucked up, but that's like like it's
Yeah,
It's
it's
industry
not
thing.
pedophilia stuff though. That's way more.
no. And then they were like, also he like would do like certain pranks, like he made one of them eat 2 tubs of ice cream, for like he's like, I'll give you $300 if you eat 2 pints of ice cream in under 30 minutes. She did it, and then he I guess never paid her out for that. And then
He was a
poor girl.
scumbag.
And then she made a joke about it later, and he called her off. He's like, never make a joke about how I'm not good on my bets or some shit. But then also like,
But there was also a lady that like I didn't I don't know if it was part of the documentary, but there was a lady who like claimed that she had gone like undermined his authority and like threatened that she would never work at Nickelodeon again if she was ever willing to like treat him like that again or some shit like that.
oh no, that was also
Was that part of it?
Well, yeah, because she was also talking about basically like that Writers Guild was like they're not supposed to do that and shit. And then he's like,
that
was that
something
you?
he was doing was illegal and he got
but
caught.
but he's like, I don't cut the paychecks.
right.
He cuts the deals. Like he calls them, but he doesn't do payroll.
See, but it almost
that
feels
would
just
make
like
sense if he did that. Yeah,
But he's
so-
the one that has to call him, like, this is your deal. But like he's not the one that.
but he's still responsible, no?
I don't.
sti-
Well,
yes
at
and
that point,
no.
Is he just a host? The host isn't responsible.
If you're the
Can't
no,
make
he's
sense.
the executive producer for a
No,
lot
but
of
he
these
no,
projects.
he's not. No, there's executives above him, and there's executives above him.
That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
correct.
He just oversees their
That
show and the
show.
writing. Yeah,
But that's the same
not
thing as saying
Nickelodeon.
that like
so he doesn't cut the paychecks for the
Yeah,
show.
yeah. Nickelodeon does that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people at the top that do.
but that's
He's not on payroll. He doesn't do any of that
doesn't
shit.
Have their money in his pocket. They give him a percentage, and he's supposed to keep the show under control and have everything sorted out. But when it comes to the payment, he doesn't have control over it.
He probably divvies it up in a certain way,
To
but
a
they give him a
degree, I
certain
think that-
amount. They probably give him a budget.
to
Yeah.
a degree. I think that is a cop out. Is that it's easy to say that you don't have control over that because you can say
Yeah,
no,
but
I have a
if
financial
he
manager that
literally
handles that.
doesn't have control over it. I mean,
Correct, but there's so many things. That's what I'm saying. Is like at every turn, no, he didn't do this, or no, it was this guy, or
Well,
no,
no-
there was this guy doing this, or no, it was this. It's like
I mean, he did a lot of the other
Brother.
things, but like payroll is one of those things where it's like more likely than not, the executive producer doesn't cut the paychecks for the
Nickelodeon's gonna
network.
decide where their money goes.
Yeah, the network cuts the paychecks.
Yeah.
You can look at it. Yeah, I mean,
just don't know.
Okay, but the big thing is the
well, let me
creepy shit, right?
no, let me get. So he's doing
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
so
so
so he
finish.
and
Yeah,
then he
get through it,
also
get
he
through
made
it.
like one of the jokes. Some girl made a joke, whatever. He's like, yeah, now do that, but act like you're getting sodomized. It was a woman though,
He said that to her. He said
Yeah.
sodomized.
or something like act like you're getting
Getting
hit from behind
butt-
type of thing. Yeah, whatever, and then make the joke, which is fucked up. And then supposedly he would ask women to give him massages while he was on that shit.
See,
sorry.
that's okay. Now we're getting into
Weird.
The creepy
Okay.
shit.
And then he
Okay.
created a toxic environment, and like the children were kind of scared of him, and it was just a tense environment and shit because he would be yelling at people and fucking mad, and, like not in a good mood. But Also,
is-
Hollywood executive
probably on
producer.
What is the what is the
Yeah.
Probably doing
responsibility?
a lot of cocaine.
But it's
or
tough
something.
because you're around kids.
What is the
Yeah,
responsibility of an
exactly. You're
executive
scaring the shit
producer?
out of them because you're acting erratic.
Like you're supposed to
and
create a
you're
safe environment for
creepy
kids. It's
because you're on
fucked up.
fucking drugs.
What?
What is the responsibility of an executive producer? An executive producer is a high-ranking producer who leads a film, audio, television, or music production by securing investor financing, overseeing the casting process, collaborating with the director, creating a distribution deal with a studio, and even organizing a marketing campaign to promote the production. So to say he had nothing to do with the payroll, in my opinion, is a stretch.
But he doesn't have control over the payroll.
Not
that-
control,
yeah.
but to say that he doesn't have a
But
say over
also,
it is
he's
crazy.
The executive producer of these particular shows, but there's Nickelodeon producers.
I'm not saying that those people don't exist. What I'm saying is that if you're just gonna like dump everything upon your boss's boss,
yeah, I'm not saying he's
then
like
it's
off
that
the
then
hook for that
everyone
part.
then
No, he's not.
everyone's a good person.
But
It
I'm
is-
just saying, like that part's probably not the thing that you
It
know.
is
you
fucked up
should
though,
really
because
be-
a lot of those jokes that were fucked up, he's like, dude, they have to go through two others, like phases before it
Yeah,
even
for
gets
sure.
put-
No, yeah.
So it's like everyone looked at
has
it.
to pass on multiple levels, and they were like, "Yeah, that's cool."
But then basically the other two episodes talk about like there was one guy that was like kind of like a stagehand, like he helped with like the production, and
Brian
he was like,
Peck.
no, not that guy yet.
Oh.
There was a different guy. His name was like Jason or some shit. But he talked to the parents a lot, and he was the one that like guided the kids to the different spots and like was there like to take care of them. And he was also fucking with children.
See, but here's the
And then Brian Peck was got close to Drake Bell.
So where is all the like, as far as the, so does it get down to the evidence of them actually doing shit with the kids?
Jason did, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He sent like dick pic to one of the girls and shit, but like he
And,
was also touching other kids, which led to like
and the Brian Peck dude definitely
molested Drake Bell.
definitely.
Wait, like,
Well,
related to Josh Peck?
no,
No,
Josh
Brian
Peck.
Peck was a guy that was like one of like
Actually,
No
I had that
relation.
same question.
No
I
relation?
don't. I couldn't prove that's true or false. I have
Yeah.
no idea. But
he was like a direct. Brian Peck
they
was.
they
I
haven't.
mean, Josh Peck really fell off for
No part of the documentary, and I didn't watch it, but I probably would have been quoted by now. But no part of anything has like noted that like said like family member of Josh Peck, Brian Peck. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean? Like they
Just
like
coincidence.
they've just been like titling him as Brian Peck. I feel like there would have been that relation with everything
Yeah,
that's
but
happened. You know,
people
somebody
argue
would have
against
said
that,
a
like,
family
oh,
member of Drake's longtime castmate. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, for sure.
and stagehand.
The problem is it does cover it slightly, but it doesn't go deep enough into the fact that it's the industry, and it just covers
As a
like
whole.
certain people. Yeah, it's
as
the
a whole.
parents. It's the parents. It's the fucking industry. It's the fucking
Parents are making money.
yeah. It's like them overworking the kids. They talked about it for a little bit, like child labor laws, but they made us work. But it was brief. They were trying to
Yeah.
mostly focus on Dan Schneider, that Jason guy, and Brian Peck. Like these are the fucking abusers.
Why do you think that they were mainly focusing on that part of it and not addressing like some of maybe the
Because it's the way to like attack
peripheral
them.
issues as well?
The way to attack Nickelodeon without putting all of the. Because after every episode, it's like Nickelodeon says that they do deep investigations, yada yada yada, about like to cover their ass type shit.
Who's the fuck?
Because you're not
believes that?
attacking Nickelodeon directly, you're attacking people within the Nickelodeon. Like they're
but
not.
to a
attached to
degree,
that
I'm not.
type
I'm not even like saying that that's wrong, but to a degree, Dan Schneider was like a key component of Nickelodeon for a long time.
Oh, dude, he did
Like he was
Zoe
repres-
101,
he
Drake
was
and Josh,
representative
Amanda
of
Show,
the network
all
for a
that.
long time. Like not just even on like the show's standpoint, but when you talk about like on the fucking like Choice Award shit, on the fucking like like the all the slime shit, like he had like hands in a lot of that executive work for a lot of the Nickelodeon shit. So like it could just be a smear campaign on Nickelodeon, and why they're focusing on on these people is because honestly, shouldn't they be focused on?
No, they
shouldn't
should.
they
What
have
I'm
that
saying is,
light
like, why
shine?
they didn't-
Because even if he isn't a pedophile, he was executives over pedophilia and said nothing to do changes over it. And if at any point maybe leaned into it instead of leaning away from it.
No, 100%. I mean, he was
To a
making
degree.
pedophilic jokes like with
Yeah,
kids
that's what
there.
Sounds like
and
even
then
if he didn't go all the way to
Even if he
pedophilia with
wasn't
anyone,
the pedophile on
it's
set,
still-
he was paying pedophiles to produce pedophilia.
and he was treating women very fucking what's the word?
And then like there was the dude that was played the
Demeaning.
donut man who did the fucking interview with Dan Schneider, and somebody was like saying like this dude used to be on set. So you're telling me like this bro was the only adult on set, and he said nothing. Like there's no signs of him ever outing Dan Schneider or anything that happened on that set before. So like either one, he was silent and is now trying to
Or he might
play
have
the
been just someone
card
who shows up for a paycheck and dips.
type shit. So it's like there's these different sides of the story, but like it's hard to be the person that's like you were on set with these people. How are you going to try to be the face of the defense? You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to be. It's not like you're not
a reporter.
You're not a reporter, and two, it's not like you don't have any what's the word? I'm like conflict of interest. You know what I mean? Like you definitely have a conflict of interest. This is a representative of your career.
Yeah,
to a degree.
I just wish it would have dove more into just like the industry and those people were. I mean, they should be shining a light on because they're pedophiles, and you know that guy Ryan Peck actually went to go work on Disney.
That's crazy.
No way. Not Disney with pedophiles.
Right.
Chill.
But it's just like the whole child.
Daddy, chill.
I'm just saying, bro. Sorry, I have a big thing against.
No, but I mean,
gotta
like,
talk louder, dude.
I do
Oh,
not.
now is the
like
mic not
Disney.
perfect?
I find them to be very unenjoyable and creepy.
Yeah.
I'm with
and
you
now
on that.
Now they're like doing all this social justice work and everything to like kind of cover up the fact that they were always terrible. And it's like it doesn't work, dude. You're still creepy.
But also, it's I don't know what they're doing now is just very much pandering rather than actual social justice.
They're really trying to cover up the fact that half of their cartoons used to be racist. I mean, and I get it. Yeah, you know, it was in its time, right? But it's like half their cartoons were racist as shit or had creepy ass pedophile shit.
The aristocrat shit's still funny. The fucking
Aristocrats?
Siamese cat.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Fortune cookie never wrong.
I mean, Disney's kind of
playing
in that.
piano with chopsticks and shit.
Disney's
Wait, what
kind of
sucks
in
is
that.
I love that movie. You know,
Yeah, I
it's
love
a
Jungle Book too,
great
but there's some
movie,
moments.
You know? I can't. Nothing in Jungle Book stands out to me off the top of my head.
Disney's kind of in that like place that current day Germany's in, where they just wish people would forget about the past.
Germany does really well. They're really against like they don't look well on patriotism. Like you don't have to love your country. Like you don't have to do that. And
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
right.
Like he said.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're very much against that
well,
because
there's still
any vocalization of like, no, you should have pride in your country. It's like, where are you going with that, buddy?
Well, it's like Disney's at this thing where it's like, see, we have representation. We have all kinds of people in our movies. We don't just love one type of kid. It's like,
We love all children.
We love all the kids.
But it's just like the industry is I don't know. It's like one thing where it's just like Hollywood now and just like acting. Like, is it like a requirement to be a piece of shit, or is it that where all the weirdos go?
I think some of the best actors that I've seen, like a lot of them, like the really good people, they're a little weird, but they're all the people that they don't really take part in a lot of the other.
What about Tom Hanks?
I mean,
Tom
I've never been
Spanks?
like a huge Tom Hanks fan. Like, I mean,
Leonardo
he's
DiCaprio?
cool, not really. Like, I
The
liked
cra-
it. The
the cabs with
I
the
liked the
haps?
island, or not the island.
The Shutter Island.
Shutter Island. I did like Shutter Island.
Why?
a
Because
lot.
it reminds you of Epstein, or
No, I just.
I'm
I
sure
like
he
horror
liked that
movies,
one
and I
too.
like psychological horror movies. And
Yeah.
I just.
How do you
love
feel about
Shutter
Epstein?
Island. Epstein.
you for or against?
Is that your guy?
I need to know where you stand, dude.
I mean, he's dead.
He
So-
didn't kill himself.
No. Does anybody believe?
I mean, I hope not. At
I was
this point.
watching something today about like how what he would have had to do to make it lethal the way he hung himself, and it was like he had to kneel down, and it was attached to the bed of the wall, and he had to like lean forward into it, and it totally did not create the bruising that he had. Like what?
Like,
Well,
yeah,
no,
no, he
yeah.
did it himself. We were just there
Like, it
was
wasn't-
cameras everywhere, but they were shut off. It's malfunctioned.
I mean, that's like the Clinton Foundation
and that guy,
worker.
the guard was asleep.
Yeah, or the Boeing whistleblower that just was like,
bro, the
The
Boeing
fucking
thing, the Boeing shit's fucked.
Obama's
Yeah,
chef.
they found him in a fucking.
come on, bro.
They found him in a fucking was it a parking lot in his car, and they're like,
Dude, the
and
fucking
all
worst
the
one was
only
the
thing that they'll say right now is self-inflicted wound.
the worst
That
one
is
was
all.
the fucking Clinton
Like, what self-inflicted wound?
agent that they found hung with a fucking shotgun wound to the chest. Like, how did you do both?
Yeah, exactly. You're like, damn, bro.
Dude,
This
this-
is dedicated.
This
the
is
assassin they
impressive.
hired, they were like, "What the fuck, dude? This looks like shit."
They're
like,
no, just tie him up. It's like,
They were like,
this is not gonna work. We
They were
gotta
like-
get out of here.
you know what? You know what you need to do? Make it look like an act. He was like, I got you. Fucking blew a hole in his chest.
He said, dude, I said an accident. He said, I'm an artist.
Yeah, he said, no, trust me. I'm going to make this work. Yeah, right? He has like a real hobby for it. He's like, no, we've seen all those other ones before. I'm telling you, the original.
He said, oh, we were supposed to get away with this? I thought you said get creative. I'm like that.
Bro, Obama chef, this motherfucker drowned in like a 4-foot
Yeah.
pool, bro. It was like a fucking.
Did they say he was drunk? Like he passed out, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was something.
So they're saying he was fucked up, and that's how he drowned.
Yeah, he
before.
just was paddleboarding and, in a decorative pool that's out front of the White House. You know, the little
You
fucking.
ever been in those pools, dude?
They're dangerous.
Currents are strong.
I know.
What do y'all think about the Ryan Garcia
What the fuck
situation?
paddleboards out there? You couldn't go anywhere else? Holy fuck.
4 feet of water.
I was
He
on my
was
lunch
like-
break.
Yeah, lunch break. 'cause he's
Lunch
a
break
chef.
gone wrong.
What do y'all think about the Ryan Garcia situation?
Which one
Going
is that?
mentally ill or saying there's pedophiles everywhere?
You haven't seen any of that?
Ryan
that-
Garcia?
I
So
would.
Ryan Garcia is like a top premier boxer. And he's like up there with.
Okay,
the-
yeah.
the-
Yeah, no, I think I know what you're talking about.
He went crazy on Twitter recently talking about he was basically talking about like all the shit that you heard about the elites. It's all true. They showed me all the files. They tied me up. They made me watch
Tom
kids get
DeLonge.
fucked. And,
I'm
like,
chalking that up
literally.
to CTE.
so look, here's what I'm
Yeah.
chalking it up to: fight promotion.
Oh yeah. Oh, well,
You know what I
true, that
mean?
too,
Like
yeah,
he's
that
got a
too.
fight coming up. I think it's in May or June. And then like right after he came out with the tweets of saying something like I'm gonna show you guys everything. Like they fucked up by showing like somebody like me that shit. I fooled they ass. I got they ass. Literally, his next tweet was a fucking video that his trainer fucking took of him. He looks fucking coked out to the brims, but definitely.
Oh, he's doing a bunch of fucking.
But
boys,
definite-
bro. He's
But
on
definitely, so look, the video's just
Seriously.
him like going through a checklist of like, this is what we're doing for our camp, for this fight camp coming up. It's like we're really locking in, and it's like I'm about to be off all social medias, off of all my phone, and off everything. Like I know, I promised you guys, but it's gonna come up. I just gotta focus on this fight real quick. It's like, oh, okay, Kanye.
What a piece of shit. Definitely. Okay, so definitely fight shit. He's also probably not in the right state of mind because he's probably taking a lot of hormones.
Well, because that's my thought process on Kanye is no one has any questions about whether or not he's in the right state of mind. The process is that every time he says something that gets controversial, he all of a sudden has an album that comes out within the next 30 days.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like
I don't like his music, honestly. I'm not like. Man.
I'm not saying that it like that this
Well,
is
I-
a
well, I'm
fan
just saying,
thing. What
like,
I'm
I
saying
just
is
never
it's
got
just
it.
so
Like, I didn't-
it just so happens that you have something to promote and for a reason for your name to be in
Kanye
the
has
hemisphere.
bangers. He has bangers.
I'm not saying he
Kanye
doesn't.
has
I'm not.
It's just not my type of music. But I guess that's what I'm saying is like, whenever the controversial shit happens, I'm like, I don't understand why people pay attention. But I guess I can't. I
'Cause he's
can't
made
back
some
it
of
up
the
with
best
liking
hits in the
his
past.
music.
See, but here's the
years.
conversation about that is so many people pay attention to him whether you like his music or not. Because think about it this way: like, there's women that pay attention to him because they're keeping up with the Kardashians. There's kids that pay attention to him because of like video games and shit like that, like fucking Thrasher shit, like all these Travis Scott kids that are hype beasts and shit like that. They fucking love Kanye and everything that he fucking does, all the fucking fashion shit that he does, even though that shit is garbage in my opinion. But now it's gotten to the point where like even if you don't like his music, you know who he is because of all the controversial shit.
Yeah. You don't even need to know anything about the music.
So
Is he
now
the
his
one with the
music is
statue?
almost the fourth thing that some people know about him.
Yeah, is
That's
he the one with
fucking
the statue?
weird.
He has a gold statue.
He has a statue? Does
Was
Kanye have a
it him,
statue?
or was
Who?
it? Was it? One of them has. One of the R&B rapper guys has a gold statue that looks like.
There's
It's
a
like- he looks
life-size
like
statue
Jesus.
of Kanye West?
He
That'd
looks
be
like
sick.
Jesus. He's like that.
If it
when
was
did
Kanye,
this
that'd be
pop
hilarious, and
out?
I'd be for it.
fucking
It's
gold,
fucked
bro.
up, but that's hilarious.
The Hollywood Reporter,
It-
February 2017.
I think
Look
it's
on the
pretty.
screen.
I mean, I'm not Christian, but
Yo, that's
fucking annoying.
not Kanye.
Yeah, he's got the crown of thorns.
That's,
Literally, bro. That's
That's
fucking
Jesus.
wild.
Hey, what year? What year?
2017.
Is what year Yeezus came out?
Oh, I don't know what year it came out.
What year did
so.
Yeezus come out?
I wonder if he paid for that too. Oh,
He
with
did,
it's
no, somebody else was like, I
bro.
love Kanye
This is
so much.
maybe he
I
did.
want
Look at this
fucking dumbass fucking statue.
with the hooves, bro.
I'm not kidding, bro.
Jesus with the hooves, false idol, dude.
That's
That's
it's creepy, isn't it? It's
that's-
creepy, and
With the
Uh,
Yeezys on too.
how have you not seen
Yeezy
that?
hooves. They with the Yeezy hooves on.
Well, there's Yeezys, but they look like hooves type
Easy
shit.
hooves.
Oh,
Maybe they're just
Coincidence?
I don't know. Kind of
No,
looks like
the
hooves.
whole world is run by a satanic.
Maybe I'm just
cabal
stupid, bro.
of-
you know what's
What
crazy
is
is the
it?
CIA
People.
supposedly created certain projects like they were like researching cult.
Yeah, didn't
They
they?
do.
They didn't
Oh,
they
yeah,
create
dude. No,
fucking
that's,
Charles
that's
Manson?
Freedom of Information Act. That's not even like.
I kind of
conspiracy.
want to dig into the cult, but I'm scared of what I might find.
Well, occult just means secret knowledge. It doesn't.
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
mean like satanic or anything like that. It
I
just
feel
means
what you're
secret,
saying, 'cause
that's
it's
all.
No, 100% still same.
It's-
Yeah.
I feel what you're saying because when you say scared, what you might find it's more so like it's more so of a respect and understanding of how much is already unknown and how much of your understanding of things is built off of kind of to a degree lies. So it's like once you break down the fabric of those lies, you're like, what is really the fabric of my understanding?
That's why the other during one of the other podcasts, he said something about as above, so below. That's an occult philosophy. It's like a secret philosophy. It's not common knowledge, but when you think about it, it's like very, very true. Like the law of polarity and stuff like that, and everything. Like it's just, it's not crazy stuff.
But also that-
the
That would
CIA
they can
looking
get-
into it, that's like real shit because there's stuff behind it. There's you can back it up. It's not.
But
You can't disprove it necessarily.
But there's some
you know?
shit that goes deeper than what we
that's
Yeah,
a lot
for
of
sure.
quantum theory,
But you shouldn't
honestly.
be scared of it though. Like you should want to know. Like you shouldn't want everyone to know.
But it
'cause
goes
a lot of
back to
people
what
are
he's saying. It kind of
immature,
breaks the
but-
fabric of your understanding of what it
'Cause,
is.
Yeah, like what if like everything that you love and enjoy everything that is in your existence that you enjoy can be kind of broken apart by just a 1 to
You
a
should-
0.
The
You know what I
whole
mean?
point
Like,
is you're supposed to learn to be okay with that and not
I
try
get
to
it.
grip everything.
You
And
gotta let
squeeze
go.
everything and
I'm
be
with
like,
you.
No. This is it. This is my truth. This is my truth. I can't let it go. Like you should be okay with change and okay with different currents. And
But that's
things changing.
but that's
and
a conversation of
evolution
growth.
and-
But
Yeah.
that's a conversation of growth
Yes,
because
exactly.
the
but
the
that's
the
whole
ideal
point.
is that in that stasis of not being okay with that, it is that much harder to break that because once you are in that flow state of being able to kind of take change in and adapt to those changes,
But just be
with-
okay with it.
but also a degree of
Not
that
that you
is
should just be okay with everything that ever happens.
no, I'm with
You
you.
know,
But like the degree of that is that like you base so much of like your life off of these certain assumptions. You know what I mean? Like I assume that I will get to work safely tomorrow, and that means that I'll get to work a full day's shift, and that means that if I work a full day's shift and I continue to be able to get to work safe and continue to do that, then by the end of the week I'll have money to pay my rent. There are a lot of assumptions that are based off of assumptions. I'm sorry, a lot of things that are based off of assumptions that we use
Yeah,
for
and
our
you have to
daily
be
life.
Okay and ready to. I would say adapt, but I still think there's even better.
There is a better word for it because what I'm trying to say is that in that stasis of flow, if you're even one mishap can kind of disrupt you. But if you are in a stasis of kind of expecting mishaps, then there is
Yeah, exactly.
really a realm of
Art
disruption.
of war, be the water, like as a river, be the water flowing around the rock in the river. Don't be the rock in the river.
Right.
Always facing resistance. Like could be the water moving around everything, flow and adapting, changing, but when you're the rock, you're just facing resistance and you're not moving it.
Correct.
And eventually you will get. But I think.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys
The
say. I was
cult
gonna say
thing,
something.
you said something about the CIA thing with all that.
Yeah, that's how they kind of like a lot of the projects
Yeah,
started.
there's a lot of crazy stuff the CIA has actually looked into that they took seriously, and it's Freedom of Information Act that they did look into it, and they have all these reports on it, and like years and years of research on it. Some of it they were just like, all right, this was a waste of time. and that's in the files. Like, oh shit, this.
Is that what you were
Like,
laughing at?
No, I was laughing because I was trying to get back to where we were at, and then I found it. But a lot of it, bro, they take a lot of shit seriously. That like a lot of people are like, that's silly. Like, I bet you the CIA has a file on is the Earth flat? Like, I bet.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I mean,
do.
it is.
Well, let's go. Let's go.
We're not doing that.
Yeah,
We've
dude,
already
I mean,
been there.
it's
we're
in
not,
the
we're not
files.
going back to it. We're not.
It's
going
in the
back to it.
files. No, it's in the files.
Dude, you haven't gotten your freedom of information?
You haven't looked at the CIA's files? It's right there, dude. It's the Freedom of Files Act.
The Freedom of Files Act.
No, but they did say telepathy's real.
They did. They actually did. That's what I'm saying. They have a lot of stuff that you're like, wait a minute, what?
Is telepathy where you can move shit with your mind or where you can read minds?
I think when they meant it was moving shit.
Because telekinesis is when you can move shit with
That's
your mind.
telekinesis. Telepathy, what the CIA looks into is like, what do you call it? It's like projection, like long distance projection, like that they can see a place that they are not at and locate things by just thinking about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
so the supposed communication of thoughts or ideas by means other than the known senses, which is speaking or smelling or
But their big
hearing.
thing on it was being able to like get these people to either go to sleep or meditate and project themselves into, like Russia to see where a nuclear base was. Stuff like that. Like that was their whole thing on it.
Did they find it?
There was some of them were really hard to disprove, and they're like, "Damn!" But then they're like, "Yeah, but they could have done this and done to know." And also, a lot of it is like, "Oh, it might have just been them." If there is Russian people in the CIA, they want Russians to think that we know something they don't, and we have this crazy thing they don't have. Basically, what a lot of people think UFOs are, just us and every other country going back and forth with each other, like, "Oh, we have UFOs." Yeah, we've got them. We have Area 51. You don't even want to know down there, dude. And then the other countries are like, dude, oh my god, they gotta have something crazy. You don't want to fuck with them. That is like if it's something crazy, and then they do the exact same. And it's just
So it's just a
scare
bunch
each
of mind
other.
games.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's just mind games.
That's like a big theory that's what UFO. Just us trying to scare countries like that stuff. So,
Yeah, isn't it funny? Like, 'cause a lot of the
that kind
videos.
of shit works.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of videos and people are like, I think it's crazy how all these UFO sightings are only in America.
Yeah, or Russia. Basically, they happen in the biggest countries of
The nuclear
the
sites.
nuclear powers. Like that's where they all happen at.
Oh hey, there's something.
Crazy.
We didn't get any good videos, but
People in Nigeria are just like, I ain't seen shit.
yeah, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of shit. It's just like, I don't know. It kind of makes me want to get like closer or deeper. Focusing
I have been
myself
as
a little
well.
more.
I've been.
It's tough
honestly
because
trying to connect with the spiritual side of myself.
It's tough in today's age to actually take in some of this information because a lot of it does feel like government-controlled information that is kind of seeped in, whether by dissenting control or gaining control.
When you look at a lot of the CIA's files and what they've done, though, it's like, dude, can I believe anything?
Nope.
That's exactly
Almost
dude.
0%.
Like-
No. Whenever you look at like your textbooks in school and understand that they're built by a fucking company and that company's owned by a company and that company's owned by one of the major 12 families and we're all just fucking reading that shit and teaching our kids and acting like it's all just the education that we should be on. Even though we all know the education system's so fucked up.
Oh, I get it. Yeah,
We can't do shit about it.
I just started calling it corporate education. That's what I just.
Is it even that? I mean, it kind of is.
Yeah, because we're
It's both
corporately run
now.
government.
To a degree, yeah, but I mean, it's also like the factory, like, razors.
To me, we're just completely corporate. That's my take on it.
I think we get some history, though, right?
I mean, is that history? What is that history?
Who
History
is
is
it?
written by the victor.
I think, yeah. Who is it? Marcus Aurelius? Who said that? History is written by the victor.
Let's find
The
out
history is
together.
not. The history is decided by who won and controls the history book. You know what I mean? Whoever writes the textbook's the one that gets to tell the history. It doesn't mean it's correct.
Winston Churchill.
Even better than Mark. Not better, but
Fucking racist.
well, I meant, like, when I didn't say it was more recent. I thought it was a lot older than that, but it's nice to know someone more recent.
Oh, they just way better now that I know it's him.
Now that I knew it's a white man, white power.
Marcus Aurelius is white.
You don't know?
He was Greek. He
the
was a
history
different type
book
of
said
white.
that he
True,
was.
that's true.
The history book said that he was Greek.
He was different.
Ooh.
But what did we just say about the fucking history?
He was the victor, though.
But who was his victor?
He died. Now,
Who killed
Victor
him?
Reyes.
wait. Yes.
Victor Armando.
Wait, how did Marcus Aurelius die? Did he get stabbed or he had a seizure?
Who killed Marcus?
No, look up who killed How did Marcus Aurelius die?
In reality, Commodus was appointed co-emperor 3 years before Marcus Aurelius died, and they ruled side by side during this time. Most modern historians believe that Marcus died from some contagious disease, perhaps the Antonian plague,
Yeah.
a devastating pandemic named after his imperial dynasty.
That guy killed him.
No. Where the hell did you get that out of it?
It kind of seemed like that's where they were going, but it didn't say that.
Well, let's not make assumptions.
You know what they say about assumptions.
This plague
Fuck
broke
you.
out in 166 CE. 166 CE. I don't know what CE is. In Christ
No,
emergence.
No, that's I don't even remember what he is.
They said it's
Yeah,
difficult to
myself.
know for certain, but it could have been like they could have said that he died to that contagion as like a hero's journey type of thing. They don't want to say that he died in battle, but he could have just died by natural causes.
By his friend.
It really sucked to die in battle, dude. That shit would suck.
I mean, it was a hero. That was like what they fucking wanted. It's like how you get to Valhalla,
yeah,
right?
It's like, well, that's Viking. Well, that's
Did they battle?
Norse mythology.
Did they battle?
But like,
I think
you're
they
just
battled.
surrounded by the smell of shit because everybody shits their pants when they die. There's
Well,
just a bunch of people around you that shit their pants, and everybody's.
you're
giggling
only
because they're, like,
surrounded
missing
by
their
it.
arm, but it wasn't from an explosion. It was hacked off by some asshole with a fucking sword.
But you're only surrounded by the smell of shit if you're the rock in the river. If you stay flowing, then you're moving around slicing motherfuckers up. You don't got time to smell any shit. You got motherfuckers to kill.
That's true. Yeah. Well, you know, you got non-Romans to kill basically everybody else. But I'm just saying, like, that would really suck, dude. Like, literally, there's just a smell of shit everywhere. Just people, blood everywhere. You probably got like hit in the neck or something.
But some of those
Didn't
people were
totally
hard.
cut your head
yeah.
off, but it's like half.
Some of those people were hard as fuck. It might have been a peaceful thing in a way. Like you just they were like. It's. I'm not saying it's any less painful. It's probably still pretty.
Not really the pain. It's just like the dignity of dying. Just last thing you smell on earth is just like shit.
Yo, did
know
you
what I mean?
shit your pants? Yeah, it's not cool, dude.
Where's your honor?
But what I was saying was, I kind of want to get closer. I dive deep into my spirituality, just because like I feel like, oh man, I don't know. I guess the more I've gone with life, like all the distractions, like I forgot how much I enjoy just like little. Like I've started watching more movies again. I'm like, damn,
No, I'm with you because I think I have actually been thinking about that
I'm
recently.
busy all the time.
Where it's
Yeah.
like I always have like had I think disdain is the wrong word, but like a bad taste in my mouth for religions, just knowing that like a lot of them kind of started in corporations of control to try to get people to do things that maybe they wouldn't have done without those reasonings.
Yeah.
But I know that there's so many benefits of religion and so many benefits from the community and actually having faith in something and believing in something, even if it's
Being part of something.
even if
bigger
it
than yourself,
is
hopefully.
delusional or there is a level of not of control behind the actuality of the belief, but like it does seem like the positive benefits outweigh the negatives to a degree. It just depends on the application. And that's hard because it's like I don't know how to take in these lessons that I know were written for certain purposes but do have greater meanings type of thing.
Yeah, not necessarily in the sense that where people try to relay them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think it get like along the way somewhere the messages got in the wrong hands and used.
There was distortions and things like that.
Yeah, I think because it's just like whenever I look at the world, I mean, you look at the bigger picture. Like this is like this whole grand thing out there, right? You know, the Earth's flat. It's just like, you know, you got the dome over you.
The The firmament.
The firmament of it. God's keeping you from the great heavens. But no, realistically though, it's just like we don't know what
Space is fake.
we don't know what's out there. We're trapped in this dome with the rock below us because it's flat. And it's just so crazy to me that the Earth is flat because having a flat Earth and it not being round.
Well,
Can
I
I,
mean, hold
can
on,
I
not
ask
all
a very
Christians believe that
stupid
shit,
question?
though.
I'm gonna say something serious. I'm sorry.
Wait,
It's
hold
gonna
on.
fuck
Can
with
I
the
ask a
look.
very stupid question that I could easily Google but would rather ask and look stupid? Do we have any other proof that like the Earth like core and is actually like magma other than a volcano?
I think the siren.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know volcanoes just be spitting out fucking lava and shit, but like, does that mean
Well, that's the outer core. The inner core,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken, is so
dinosaurs
densely
and shit,
compact
right?
that
It's like
solid.
Middle Earth,
No, it's actually
like
the
hobbits
the
and
most inner part
dragons.
is what?
So flat Earth theory, there's
What
the
did you just
inner
say?
hobbits, it's Middle Earth.
Hobbits and dragons, it's Middle
Says
Earth.
Middle Earth. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what's
wrong.
beyond Antarctica. Is like the
It's just a massive interpretation. So when you see a volcano, poof, that's the dragon's fire.
what I was saying though is like when you view the Earth and you see how big it is, it's just like to really take that moment in every day and be like, damn, you know, like I'm fucking here. It's a beautiful moment. Like I literally, you can do anything. I think I just like there's a point where I'm like, let my mind get in the way, and I'm just like, damn, dude, I'm too tired or whatever. But like, you can literally just do anything at any given moment. You literally create majority of the setback.
What?
Yeah, you create all of them.
I mean,
you say
to a degree. I mean, you can always create more. It depends. There's sacrifices and everything. It depends on what also.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say everyone has the same deck of cards, but ideally, is every limitation that you've ever had was set upon you by yourself.
There are some set upon by others.
unless you're a Jewish person in the Holocaust.
Or
Okay.
slavery.
All right, sure. Yeah, there's an exception to every rule. God
Or
damn it,
you're
my bad,
Palestinian and
asshole.
And yeah, I mean, we could go on.
But
Or you're
what I was gonna
Ukraine.
ask you is
and
like, if I may
Russia's
ask,
in-
if it's not too personal, like, what do you feel like?
None of those sounds like limitations. They sound like circumstances, but all right.
I mean, it limits what you can do to a degree. Go ahead.
I feel like you could have said like maybe like a handicap that you were born with, and that would have been like a limitation that you had no control over. But you're over here talking about like circumstances that obviously I had no intention of talking about. Whenever I was saying what I was saying, asshole.
You were baited.
Master, I'm the master of that.
Yeah.
I'm a master.
Master.
Okay,
Masturbated.
what I was gonna ask was, if it's not too personal, like, can't even do it anymore.
Yeah, you could do it, dude. You can
Yeah, you
always
could
you
do
can do it
anything
all night
You
long.
set the limitations on yourself. All the limitations. You
Yeah,
can do
dude, freaking just
set them on yourself.
You're
Go
right.
ahead.
You're right. I am.
you are the master of your own destiny.
What form would you say you say you want to get more in connection with your spirituality? Like, how do you feel like that has happened? Like what form do you think? Don't mind me asking.
Like, which direction am I going in?
Well, yeah, not that you should like pick one that we already have, but I mean, like, how do you feel about it? Like,
Duncan Trussellism. It's my
There
religion.
you go.
I do love Duncan Trussell,
Trussellism.
dude. I mean, he's
He's a
really
cool guy.
firm in Buddhism. He
The
likes
truffle
Buddhism a lot.
trussels?
I don't know if I'm big on the whole Buddhist thing, but I really
Buddha's
do
cool.
like his.
I like a lot of Buddhism, but it
Yeah,
still
have you
has
listened to
its
Duncan
part.
Trussell at all?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his stuff. I
Yeah.
don't like, but I'm not. I mean, I think it's weird to idolize him, but I know some people that totally. I'm
Nah,
like,
I wouldn't.
nah,
Did you
I'm
watch
like,
the? I
no,
mean, we have his fucking what's it called, Midnight Gospel. Did you watch any of
yes,
that?
The whole thing.
Yeah. I think honestly, I love the reason I love that too is 'cause it just like life experience. I think it really encapsulates a good idea of that and kind of what we want to.
I think,
Yeah, it
I think
does,
you
but,
I
like-
think you make a strong point because the idolization of anybody, regardless
Yeah,
of
I
what they're
don't
doing,
care who
is
they are,
weird.
It's just weird to do that. I try not.
It is weird how people do that because you can't appreciate a person for the work that they do and the person that they are in not just conversation, but also whenever no one's paying attention. And it doesn't have to do with like, oh, I wish I could be like that person or I wish I could meet that guy. It could just be a simple appreciation. It doesn't have to go as deep as
Well,
the
it's like a lot of
like
people be
the
like,
the
"Oh,"
idolization of
like
a person.
they'll like something they said. Like okay, not that you're doing this. I'm just saying. Let's take Duncan Trussell as an example, right?
Yeah.
Let's just use him. And like if people, hear what he has to say, and they're like, "Oh, that's true. Yeah, that totally makes sense." And then they just head down that road because they're like, oh, that did make sense, and then they just go balls deep into it without really thinking twice about it and being like, well, you know what I mean, like because good section of it was like, wow, I really do agree with that. That's
Dune Messiah.
you know what I mean? Like, well, it's like, but that's how that shit happens, and it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's creepy. And I like Duncan Trussell a lot, but I just think it. But I mean, and I didn't even mean to go on this whole tangent of it. I still wanted to hear what you had to say, but like it's just, you know, people should always be wary of that. You know, like they might sound good right now, but it's like you should always look at it with a grain of salt. You know.
Yeah, dude, I take inspiration from a lot of things. That's just like a good example because I mean, it's
I
just like I mean,
right now how
yeah, yeah.
like recently
Ah, man,
here.
I guess it's just been like I don't know. There was like a quote. I can't even remember the exact quote, but it was something along the lines of like when you feel like you have a purpose and you just do one thing because you feel like that's the thing you're supposed to do. It's almost like a prison at a point because you're able to change at any moment, do anything you want at any time. Don't necessarily box yourself into any one given thing, right? And I was like, damn. In a way, that makes sense, but in a way, it's kind of a beautiful thing, right?
Right.
It's like for your life. It's like you ever heard like your life is to serve, like you're meant to serve purpose, like the whole Jesus thing too. You know, Jesus' purpose was to serve, and
I
you
mean,
as
that message is in a lot of like ways. You know what I mean? Like you've heard it. It just is as simple as like it's not about you, and it is.
It's about something
very
bigger than you.
It's
You're-
very
in
simple
general.
on a daily basis to wake up, look in the mirror, and think like, what do I think, or what do I want, or what can I do for me today? But like, it's not about that.
yeah,
It's
like
never been
you're.
about that.
I look at it as like as a person, we're all vessels
Right.
to like of experience, right? Like whether you look at it in the sense of God or whether you look at it in the sense of universe, right? Like if you're looking at it in the sense of God, we are children of God, serving, you know, the greater purpose or whatever you know
Right.
God's plan is, right? You look at it in the sense of the universe, right? The universe created us. It's like as beings to be able to experience itself, right? Is the way that people like to put it. And it's like either way you put that, it's like we are, in a sense, existence is to serve, right? Like to experience, to be able to feel things, to be able to
I mean, there's a
connect
reason
with
that
things on a greater scale, to be able to like put things together, to whatever that means, you know, in your sense. Like when I think of it's like how we think of the podcast. Everyone's always like, "Well, are you making money from it?" I'm like, dude,
No.
like that's not the point, you
To
know.
make you happy.
Yeah, right. Your point
I-
is to like bring people together. The point is to
I
connect
would
with
even say
things
more
and
so
people.
than make you happy because you can do really good things, but they make you sad.
Oh yeah, you can make a lot of money and be the
You know
fucking
what I mean? Like,
saddest
you can
person
do
on the
really
person.
good things.
Oh,
like,
good,
and do
like-
good in the world,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it makes you sad because you have to witness some. Too. It's like,
Yeah.
does it make you happy? I don't like that. Doesn't even seem like the right thing to ask.
That's not
but
even
it's more like
exactly the metric.
feel fulfilled, like, feel like you did something, made a difference. You know, like, and if you feel happy from that, that's cool. But some people that go around the world and do, you know, like charity work and stuff like that, like they're only looking at horrible things all the time. It might not make you happy, but it's fulfilling. You know,
But
Is
also
are
there's-
you, like, I know everybody has a hard time doing it. Like, nobody expects everybody to go around always just be selfless, completely 24/7, right? Like nobody expects that. But it's like, you know, do you do something that just in general you're like, no, I don't hate that. I feel like, you know, I make a difference.
But also, there's like a touch of like, I guess what you were saying earlier is like there is a kind of a reason that almost nobody can really like clearly describe why it feels better to give than it does to receive. It does feel strange how that like that feeling is. You know what I mean? Like even if you never are the type of person that gives, even just that moment of trying to give back, it always is going to feel better than receiving, even in the moments where you feel like you deserve to be receiving something.
I think
There is something to the idea that we are meant to serve. I think we've lost the idea of what it means to serve.
And it's also like
Yeah.
understanding that serving is like there is a portion of sacrificing yourself to a greater purpose at a lot of times because you're having to sacrifice a lot of different moments in order to like give to the which it goes back to like what I was thinking when that person or that quote that I saw that someone had said where it was it's a form of hell, but I don't think so, right? It's more so like you're sacrificing these other things to give to something that you believe in, which
Yeah.
in itself is, you know, I think very respectful and not respectful, but Yeah, like I appreciate it. Like I respect it.
Mhm.
Like you're paying your respects.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
almost.
It's a hard thing to do, and it depends on what area of life you're in, because there's people out there that are at the soup kitchens every day, right? They don't do it. Like they might not do a lot more, but they're over there making connections every day, and there's something someone else might not want to do or don't think that they could do. Or there's the reporters out there on the front lines watching people, get mutilated, and that shit's tough, and that's got to be heart wrenching. But they're doing it because they
You
believe
think
people.
there's a greater good at stake.
Yeah, like I'm gonna give the information to people who deserve to know, right?
Yeah.
And that in itself is a sacrifice that some people couldn't bear.
Yeah,
It's a burden that
Or
not everyone.
photographers and stuff just going out
Yeah,
there.
not everyone can bear that burden.
Yeah.
And
Who
I,
could?
what?
Even the people that do bear that burden can't bear that burden. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do.
a lot of
Dude, it's tough, and it just makes me think like, in order to really, I think, get to the point where I'm ready to get to a point where I can serve on a level to where, like I'm giving my full fulfillment, I have to get closer to myself, and then it's taking those steps to what I really think means. I don't know. It's tough.
Well, so I saw something recently that kind of said something along that same lines. It was a little bit different, but it was basically the concept of that, like a friend talking to a friend saying like, man, honestly, I appreciate you so much and everything that you do for me. Is like, what can I do to give back? What can I do to help? Like, what can I do to be the type of friend that you are to me? Like, you can work on yourself.
Yeah.
You working on yourself is the only thing that you could ever do for me. And the only thing I've ever done for you was work on myself.
Ram Dass says some shit like that too.
And that it's weird, man, because it is like that simple. Like you think that you have to make these grand gestures or make a striking, but it's not even the small things, because the moment you become the type of person you want to be is the moment you start doing the things you would want to be doing. Whenever you say it's like the sacrifices of what it takes to do those things, you can also frame it differently by looking at how much you're sacrificing by not doing them, how much benefit you could bring to your life by doing those things, and how many of those benefits you're telling yourself you're not worthy of by not doing them.
Yeah, I look at it like whenever like the hero's journey, almost like the leader, right? The person
Mhm.
becoming into themselves.
Hero.
It's like a lot of the time they don't want that position.
No.
They
But they-
shouldn't.
No. It's a call to adventure.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's
it-
the whole first part of it. It's like they didn't
Yeah.
want that. They didn't want change. They didn't want that. And it was something happens.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. And then it's not always what you want to happen, and you have to
Usually
leave a lot.
not what you
Yeah, and you have to leave a lot behind in order to become this new.
Your
New
old
person.
Sacrifice.
your new life costs your old one.
And
Yeah.
But the
Type
way the way I've been I can't remember who wrote it. I swear that's gonna. It was a poem, but not a poem at the same. I guess. Dude dies. He meets this guy in the afterlife, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, like is it?" And then, yeah, you're dead, man. He's like, I'm paraphrasing the whole thing, summarizing it. Yeah, you're dead. Oh, well, what's gonna happen? He's like, well, so basically, what he finds out is that everybody is one person, right? And I've been you before.
Egg
and
theory.
you've been
Egg
me
theory,
before,
yeah.
right? And we've been each other before. Both experienced each other, right? The whole idea is like, so when I hurt you,
Me.
on the macro, I'm hurting myself, right?
Right.
Like because I am you, or me. I do, like, but the other side of that coin is when you're an asshole to me, who's being an asshole to me? I am. So it's like it's a reason you should show forgiveness and stuff like this, because like you can do it too, and you do it too, and you have done it. You know what I mean? And then, but the whole thing of it is that it's not about the big things. It's like you do these small things because 1,000 years from now, after multiple generations have gone on, you just do it for a butterfly effect. If I do this little thing for you, and all it does, it doesn't change your life. It just maybe even just changes your day. Maybe it just changes the hour. You act differently for that day. You act differently for that hour, like that person will, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, that is a ripple effect that even if it takes 1,000 years, you reach some type of perfection. And I don't mean perfection in, like mathematical, technological type of perfection. I mean like in a philosophical, spiritual way of like eventually everybody elevates to, right? If everybody just does one thing at a time, like, so it doesn't have to be a huge thing, but you can do something and eventually, like, though, no, you're gonna get mad, you're gonna be a dick sometimes, you're gonna do all that, but just as much as you can, just every once in a while, try to do something nice. That ripple effect, even if you're not alive for it, it'll have that effect generations down the line. Because if we all did that, then you know what I mean, it spreads out.
Yeah,
Infection.
it's
Just like
tough.
negativity is.
It's tough to get people to kind of grasp that thought, mostly because it's rooted in them not accepting a lot of the beliefs that they've had before.
And you might not see the benefit of it.
That,
You know,
but
some
also,
people don't, they're only gonna do it if they can.
but also, it's double difficult because it takes people stepping outside of themselves for maybe the first time they've ever done that.
Yeah, and that's tough.
So
too. That's
it is a difficult conversation, but if you are willing to have it, a lot of people are willing to be understanding as long as you're patient with them. It's just, it is that difficult to show somebody that the golden rule is the golden rule for a reason. It's like, treat others as you'd like to be treated, because they fucking are you.
But I think it's like when it's shoved in your face so much that it's like that, like by media and like, just like modern culture in general, it's just like shoved in your face. Like, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be nice. You can argue with people. It's okay.
Well, yeah,
and yeah, you can. Yes, I don't mean just simply argue people. I mean, like, on bigger stuff. But it's like it's kind of shoved in your face. Like you don't have to be nice, right?
But so many of
these
those
people are wrong
problems,
and they deserve some stuff to happen.
so many of those problems are rooted in ignorance and directed ignorance.
Yeah,
And people that are
almost all of them,
clearly
right?
misinformed and misinformed with an agenda behind it.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten to a point where it's like everything has to be this positive, right thing, right? But a part of, I think, in my opinion, well, not just in my opinion, a lot of people's opinion, spirituality is just existence, experiencing it, right? Whether it's the good, the bad, all of it, right?
What is the point of living if not to live?
Dude, we should get a gong.
That'd be, that'd be fucking hilarious.
But
But is
what
it
is the point of living if not to live?
right? To feel it all, and everyone wants everything to be this good thing. And actually, not to go so far back, but kind of, I saw this. It just hit me. But I saw this thing, which kind of was a weird thing to read, but it was related to the whole Drake Bell thing, and he got abused by that dude Brian Peck and like raped and like all this shit happened to him. Supposedly he had like did shit with a 15-year-old girl or whatever not too long ago as well, right?
Who Drake Bell did it?
Yeah,
To a
and
girl?
people, were like, I can
Passing
never,
on trauma essentially. Like,
Yeah, people are like, I
inflicting
can't
their
feel
trauma
sympathy
on
for-
somebody else.
like, I can't feel sympathy for Drake Bell, whatever he did this thing, he's a pedophile. I'm like, dude, like, you're telling me you can't sympathize with a 15-year-old dude like Drake Bell, because he was 15 as well, going through unimaginable things that no one should have to go, right? I'm not saying he should pass that on. That's wrong, terrible.
Well, yeah, what he did was fucking awful, right?
Yeah.
But if we're gonna stop it and completely
did-
cut it off, then we have to have a bigger understanding of what's happening. And like, have you ever
can't
seen
just
the movie
hate him.
Smile?
Yeah.
Horror movie.
It's
That's
about
what
passing on.
It's about passing on trauma to other people, and it just keeps going and going and going and going. And it's like it has to stop somewhere. What do? You just fucking kill them? I don't know. I mean, solve the problem. But that's that's the thing. People pass on their trauma, and they end up doing. I know some people, man. I would never use names, but I know some people. I know some horrible things happened to them when they were kids,
Same.
and they did some horrible things.
Okay, not quite the same, but
No, I
Well,
mean like later on when they grew up.
yeah.
They did fucked up shit. They had fucked up shit done to them kids. It goes on and on.
Hard, because it's like
Damn,
also
they got
you
him with
have
attempted child endangerment and
Yeah.
disseminating matter harmful to juveniles.
was he guilty?
He pleaded guilty.
That's what I'm
Who
saying.
did Drake Bell?
Yeah.
So I mean, he pled guilty.
I thought
and
he was like just coming back into the spotlight. Was that
now,
not a
yeah,
thing?
yeah, but this was a
No.
while back. But he also,
Well, he was popping in Mexico for
yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit.
he apologized. Yeah, right.
Draco Bell. I don't know what his
That's
fucking
right.
name was.
He apologized and like he did admit to the guilt of that and everything. And he was like,
Child endangerment and under what
Essentially, he was
circumstances? Does anybody know
sending
the story?
sexual texts, but no pictures. That's the story. He sent.
Oh,
text.
like some Chris Hansen shit.
yeah, 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 like
wait, I don't
nothing-
know the Chris Hansen one.
No, like
no Chris Hansen, Dateline?
To catch a predator. Yeah, yeah.
to catch. I
It was
thought you
like
meant
that
like
kind of shit.
Chris
Nothing ever
Hansen
happened,
did
but they
something.
were
Did
like,
Chris
"Yo, what are
Hansen
you
do
doing?"
something?
No,
No, you good, right?
no, yeah.
He's
He's
cool
the one that
people.
was doing.
No, Chris Hansen's fucking.
He was the
awesome.
finding out.
Chris Hansen
Yeah.
is probably like a modern day superhero.
How do you
honestly.
get into that though? You gotta have some type of
It
Some
was
shit
60
happened.
Minutes, wasn't it?
right.
Was he? Was
Yeah.
he a 60 Minutes guy?
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. He was a 60 Minutes, like journalist or whatever, whatever you would call what he did. And then he developed another piece where it was Catch Predator, and that was part of his show.
But it
part
wasn't
of Chris
fully
Hansen's
developed.
Show. Like he did other stuff. It wasn't just Catch Predator. That was part of his thing. Was
Bad joke.
but Chris Hansen's a fucking hero, dude.
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, dude.
essentially, where I was going is just like we've gotten to a point where it's like we're so sensitive about topics, and just like we feel like everything has to be the right way or else it's wrong, we can't
We just
forgive
can't
these
handle
people.
it being the wrong way. Just like fuck.
It's everything's got to be like, oh no, this is fucking terrible. Like fuck, it's like okay, look, shit happened to him, dude. What he did was wrong, right? Also, like, I mean, he had way worse happen to him. Talking to a kid, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, probably get jail time. You should probably get jail time. You're probably
You
not
should
safe
definitely
around.
get jail time.
You should go around, get on the sex.
But all he
offender
got was
list.
probation.
What if we
2
just started
years.
beating people? You know what I
What?
mean?
Whoa.
Like instead of getting jail time, what if we just kind of like beat the shit
Well,
out
then
of
the
them?
trauma would just
Dude, you
pass
want to go
on,
back
right?
to stoning people?
No, that
Wouldn't
kills
that just
people.
endure? I
No,
mean,
you want to get your hands dirty.
if your trauma, the thing is, if your trauma's already, oh my god, if your trauma's already,
That's what you said, dude, not me.
Yeah,
I
I
said
did,
stones.
I
You
did.
can
Well,
get,
I
you can
don't
beat them
know.
up
I
from
just-
afar.
I will say this is one of my faults. That kind of shit gets me a little.
I'm
bit
with you though. I'm,
yeah,
I'm down,
you gotta think
dude.
if their
Let's go.
trauma's already getting beat, I don't know how much getting beat's really gonna reform
No,
the
not
problem.
sexually.
What?
No, we beat their ass,
Yeah.
but not
That's
sexually.
what I'm saying.
man.
But what I'm saying is, if part of their problem is they were just getting beat,
Abused.
yeah,
not
they-
sexually abused.
yeah, when they
but
get older,
abused, just
abusing
abused.
them's not gonna be like,
Okay.
I'm
I
healed.
don't know if
Well,
just
fair
abuse
enough.
is the
But
right
okay, well,
term.
then what do you
Physically
do in that situation?
abused.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
it's one of the worst things
physically
you can
abused.
do. Then what is the punishment? One of the worst things, in my opinion. So what is the punishment?
Hug them. Sorry. I should stop now. I should stop all that in my head.
I think it depends. It has to go. I mean, there's got to be some kind of rehabilitation, right? some kind of-
I mean, I
but
agree with that for
again-
people that are drug offenders and people that.
But it's like a drug, right? I mean, that's an addiction almost.
What is?
well, it's a
pain?
mental. It's
Pedophilia?
definitely a mental.
It's an addiction now?
The children, kind of.
It's definitely a mental disorder. That's for sure.
I would-
mean,
I-
at least
I don't
that's
know
how
if
I guess I
addiction
would
is
see
the-
it. Like,
is
I
the
mean,
right
being a
word.
psychopath is a mental disorder. And
Like,
those
I
are
think we
serial
have to
killers, you know what I'm saying?
we have to approach it differently, right? In how we view. I think.
See, the thing is,
Well,
is
yeah,
that like
yeah,
this
we could do
conversation
with
of
the-
treating it like a mental disability and treating it like it's an addiction is the same conversation that like lawmakers are starting to like classify fucking
No, I'm not saying
child-
No, I'm not saying minor
Minor
attracted
attracted person
No,
shit.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but you have
There's
to.
a classification for the shit, bro. It's a pedophile. It's like
Okay,
we
but
can
if
say
you put
that,
him in-
right?
if you-
Yeah, no, I still said it. But yeah.
No. It's a fucking yeah.
Still
It's,
weird,
no, I hate that shit. That whole minor attracted person thing. I fucking hate that.
But I think
That
it has
shit
to do
pisses
with
me
some
off.
fucked up shit from when
But
you were a kid.
but we have to give them to a fucking psychiatrist. Otherwise, how do you solve the problem?
Fuck, you're not wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
Lock them up until they're right.
No, you
That
lock-
also doesn't
lock
always.
them up. They're gonna fucking die.
No, I'm just kidding. I hate the
'cause they will
prison
get
industrial
killed.
complex. That's never going to be
And
my
I'm-
fucking solution for
Man,
things.
a large part of me is okay with that.
But it's,
Prison's definitely never my fucking
it's-
complex
it's
that
not
I would like.
always-
If you want to lock somebody up, just fucking kill them.
oh my god.
Sorry. I mean,
Wait, if you want to what?
I mean, for like something that's heinous, like if somebody does something heinous, like the idea of making them be punished in prison for the rest of their lives, or even the idea that's worse than that, that some people do heinous shit and don't get any fucking jail time, our justice system's fucked.
Well, I mean, the
But-
prison system doesn't fucking work.
The prison
that
system
should be-
doesn't fucking
but
work at
it's like,
all.
But what are you gonna do? Just put them at? Like, we got.
I would like to clarify that my statement before about killing them. I'm just talking about pedophiles. Sorry.
Yeah, but also what I was saying is like we should allow for people to like make mistakes. That's not a mistake necessarily you should allow, but it's also like you should understand the problem and understand like that man was fucked up as a kid.
Yeah, there's certain bad apples I don't think we should allow to
No,
stay on the
100%.
tree.
I would agree. Yeah,
It's
no.
like I mean, how do you?
Like
how
he
do you
was,
find the
he
root
got
of the problem. Like
like Drake Bell was
you
fucked
can't
up.
be in people's heads when they're younger and find out that they're going to end up being this way.
And
And then
often you don't
also
find out
can't
until it's too
control
late.
Their parenting that turned them into that person. So what do you do?
Often you can't.
Like,
You don't
how
find
do you-
out until it's too late, anyways.
No,
Often
what, you only-
the
that-
crime
I'm
has
saying you
already
only
been
find out
committed.
you know.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like how do we solve this problem? Because
It's like
you
a
can't
zombie.
be
It's like
them
a
as a
zombie
kid and be
that
like, oh,
keeps
they're gonna end up being a
infecting
pedophile.
people.
You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
zombie that keeps infecting people. It's like even if you stop all the zombies, it's like there's still all of these infections that you won't even find out about until 10, 15,
So there's also a
20 years
point for,
down
like,
the
the-
line.
Thing for me is like for those kids when they get traumatized at that age, right? They
Yeah.
lose a lot of their childhood and their life. So they like a lot
If
of
not
them,
all of it.
yeah. So a lot of them still kind of like place themselves
well, they have
in that-
access
In
to
that
it.
mindset.
That's why they
in that
do
mindset
yeah.
or in that time because they're like, I lost all that time.
More than likely,
I'm still a kid,
That
kind
is
of.
wild.
I'd say more
So
than
I
likely
lost that
Michael
period, I
Jackson,
wanted-
right?
what?
More than likely, probably happened to Michael Jackson. Right?
Yes, I mean,
No, I
as
think there's
much
a
as
case to be
people
made
would
about
like to
that.
say that it's like he was found innocent.
We don't know for sure, yeah.
I mean, he was
But it's
found
like-
innocent. There's a lot of questionable things.
Man, I'm gonna be
that-
honest. I am absolutely fuck Michael Jackson.
I'm not on that.
I'm fuck Michael Jackson except for his albums. I'm sorry. It's too good of music.
I
He
can't.
said this is
I'm so
I-
sorry.
I can't say
To
that.
anyone
what he
out
was
there
doing
that
is-
has been abused, I
I
apologize.
cannot imagine anyone
with amusement park for
understanding
kids.
that
I
it's
will
okay to
be
bring this kid into your
continuing
bedroom, close the
to
door,
listen
and
to
not
those
people in
vinyls.
it doing someone else's child.
No, yes.
He did that.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
And
then.
that part's not even debatable.
Yes, he did. But also that's the same. Like, I'm not even defending him, but I would like to also not defend the parents of those children because
Oh,
how
yeah.
the
Once again, it
fuck?
always
But-
goes back
yeah,
to the
but-
parents.
but-
It always goes back
Is
to
it
the
the
parents.
same
and what-
conversation about the
Has nothing to do with
Nickelodeon shit?
his-
Absolutely
his
not.
like, I mean,
Absolutely
you know,
not.
come
That's
on.
what I'm saying. I'm not trying to defend him or take anything away from what he did. Heinous, horrible, shouldn't be done with kids. Even if he was found innocent in a courtroom, we all know that that shit would fucking happen. The parents of those kids are very much still at fault.
But I think it does go back for like with those type of people though. Like you just lose that childhood and
you lose it in the celebrity.
Let your
You know what I
fucking
mean?
Kid hang out with the grown ass man.
That
Oh,
clearly,
whoa.
that
Has
clearly
a-
has
You're like, all right,
sexuality
bye,
question
go
marks.
hang out with Michael Jackson. We're dropping you off.
That clearly has
Nobody else
sexuality
there other than Michael
question
Jackson
marks
and
and
your-
childhood trauma.
The one other kid that is the same age as your kid, like
and you got a Ferris wheel and
who's
shit.
Okay with that? A
If you got an amusement park in your house and you're in a grown ass
You're
man
the
with
highest
kids,
paid musician on the planet,
kids
and what
can
you
have-
want is a small amusement park for children
That's
in
what
your
you-
backyard.
But everybody's like, he was
Not a
trying-
fucking,
he was
not a
trying
tennis
to give
court.
other kids a good life and a good experience. It's like they're child stars. They have a lot. They'll be fine. Yeah, he didn't need to do that.
you can build that somewhere
Those
else.
were child stars too.
You could do that somewhere. Yeah.
Like he was like what do you mean? He was convincing their
They
parents
weren't-
to let.
Bro,
them
he
come
actually
They
over.
hung a
weren't
baby
underpro-
out of a window. That was
This
you
Yeah,
is
could,
what do you
his
like?
baby.
That's,
Yeah.
Well, actually, his baby.
Like, you-
To be
that's
fair,
not e-
blanket to this day looks nothing like him.
no, but that's not a point where you can be like, nah, I wasn't him.
Sane,
Nah, come
very
on.
sane, sane person.
Trying to give kids a good life. Well, that was his first. That was his first amusement park ride.
Oh, that's what
That-
it was.
Yeah, that's
that
when
was
he
the one.
realized, oh my god, I have.
I have a
passion
mission. I have a
for-
mission
yeah, I have
here.
A mission. I have a mission.
You see the start? You see how it starts?
I gotta.
Yeah.
you see how it starts?
Yeah.
I
She
gotta
started.
scare the absolute shit out of these kids. It's a passion of mine.
Yeah, so it's like before
Hang
you
him
can get
out
on
the
the
window.
actual rides.
Yeah. No. He was,
Life is a highway. I'm gonna ride it all night long.
there was another person in that apartment that was like, what do you mean? You wanna have an amusement park in your house? And he's like, no, look, okay, so I take this kid, I hang him out the window.
Fun, right?
He's like, I scared the shit out of this kid. See what I'm saying?
Were you-
No, wait, explain.
Were you not amused
Yeah, right. He's like, look at
at
this
my
kid.
park?
Kid looks terrified. He's like, no, that's a face of fun. That's a
To wrap back around, though, I do think that people should be more willing to accept the good and the bad rather than just be like, everything should be. If it's not amusing me and it's not making me happy, it's fucked up. It's like, Yeah, sorry, you gotta fucking deal with the real world, kid.
Wait, what
Well, I
are you
think
talking
it's
about in
the
that
Alan
sense?
Watts thing of like
we were talking about
care,
it
don't not participate in things, right? Like care when things are going wrong, but when things are going wrong, don't let it completely get to the deepest part of you. Allow it to control the way you act.
Yeah.
Don't get
Yeah.
furious about everything all the time because things that don't work out.
Well, originally we were talking about just like allowing the bad things. It was the whole flowing water and shit. And beforehand, that's what we were talking about before we went on the deep end about the Nicola. We were talking about allowing the bad things to happen too, and not. I think that's the wrong. Honestly, not to blame it on Gen Z, but I think a lot of problems with fucking those kids now are just like they expect everything to be tentative to their fucking problems and how they feel, and they're like, I have a mental problem, or this is the problem. I'm like, yeah, but also it's the whole part of functioning in a society is functioning in a society. Don't
It's
get me wrong,
also
there
the-
should be things that, do tend to.
It's
certain
also the idea that the
but-
people that have the worst of disabilities, the most hindering of disabilities, are the people that want no help with them.
Yeah,
We'll try harder. We'll try harder. What? I'm sorry.
What'd he say?
I said I'm colorblind.
I thought you said I thought you said something about Columbine. I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
what
Whoa,
did you say, buddy?
Okay, to be fair, I can see how you would want it to be more serious than what I said.
I was like, excuse
because that
me.
He
was
is
part of my
colorblind.
joke.
Yeah, no.
It is one of the
Yeah.
worst things that you can actually.
And my girlfriend's
Is it
legally
now?
blind, so what's your point?
Might be more than that.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah, she's got-
It's
she's-
definitely more than that. Let me
she's
show
got-
you.
She's got knee plates and shit, or hip plates and a broken kneecap.
Well, I wasn't talking about any of that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh, you
Just
talking about
let
her
it
mentally
small
ill
check.
problem?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Because the
Love you,
implication.
Shelby.
Yeah, I love you, Shelby. I love her though.
No, but fuck. What was I gonna say? What was I saying?
Keeps me on my toes.
Oh,
am
no,
I
no.
right?
But yeah, but like the people that have like the
I
disabilities,
take her off of her.
people that have the disabilities that are the most hindering don't want your assistance. If they need your assistance, they'll accept it. But if most people do. Like, so for example, fucking Corey's brother Cole. This is somebody that has 4 different disabilities, all that probably could keep him getting a check from the government every single month. That not just provides for him, but also maybe whoever is caretaking for him. But he is also one of the most independent people I know, and one of the hardest working people I know, because he doesn't accept that. He doesn't accept disability checks that go to him. I think all of his disability, Corey can correct me on this, but pretty sure all of his disability checks go to his mom, and then he works for everything that he lives on. His rent that he pays for himself, his groceries that he buys himself, his Uber everywhere because he's not legally allowed to drive. He buys himself.
Oh man.
It's like that is somebody that is in our existence. Somebody that doesn't take excuses for granted and doesn't have excuses for anyone.
I think you should probably put some of that money. No, that should.
I'm not saying that like I said, I was like maybe I can be
I think
corrected
some of
here
that
in
goes to
knowing
him.
maybe I can be corrected here in knowing like the distribution of where those funds are going, but
outside of
outside of that,
you know what I mean? You just gotta pay for
knowing
that. It's like, oof.
knowing how much like somebody with those disabilities can get from the state, he's still working every single day. He's probably first one in, last one out type shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of person that he is. He gives a fuck about everybody. He cares like as much as he possibly can about every person that he comes across. Like Cole's one of the nicest, most genuine people, hardworking people I know.
Thank you.
But not you, fucker. Well, definitely not you, fucker.
Sorry.
But it becomes that situation where you see people that like have their full capabilities and find reasons to have problems in their life, find things that can be an issue so that they can complain, and find ways to not go to work, and find ways to not be there for their family, and find ways to not do all these. There's always reasons. Yeah, dude.
People
I
were
do it
saying-
all the time. I've been really,
NCAA's coming
I've
out with the
been
first
really
game they've
trying to
had in
work on it.
fucking 12 years. That's a reason, dude. I'll take off for work for a full week.
I was like, where are you going?
Yeah, I was
with
like,
that?
what? You know, people are saying that like DoorDash and coffee and breakfast is important because they have disabilities,
What?
like mental disabilities and shit, or like depression and stuff.
I have a disability. That's why I need the coffee.
I have a coffee addiction.
No, but that's why they have to DoorDash it.
Wait, what do you mean?
Wait, what?
Like
One-
people are,
What?
Because people were like giving shit, like there's debate. Because people were like, dude, why the fuck would you DoorDash coffee in the morning to your house? There's so many other things you could do.
You could just make
Or
a
like
pot of
eggs.
coffee.
Yeah, or like cook like egg, like DoorDash breakfast, like eggs and bacon and shit in the morning. People are like, I have disability, like depression.
Wait, so hold on.
I'm
hold on, hold
neurodivergent.
on. What is the argument?
Neurodivergent.
What is the argument here? What's the debate over?
I mean, well, y'all were just talking about. It's just like
It's not a debate. He's saying is like you understand that there are people out there with the wherewithal in themselves to say that I have a disability, therefore I need coffee delivered to my door every morning instead of being able to make it for myself.
There's
if you can
people-
afford it, then do it. What's
That's
the
the
argument? I don't
That's not the-
conversation. If you can afford it, then you can do it.
Yeah.
There's no problem with that.
Okay, yeah, that's what
I
I'm
think it's
making
just
with
more
The
so the
conversation is that you're not saying I can afford it, so I'm doing it. You're saying I have a disability. That's why I'm doing it.
I don't care why you're doing it.
I don't care
like,
why
do
you're
whatever
doing
you
it
want.
either.
I
The
don't give a
point
fuck.
is that people will play like the victim.
That people are claiming disabilities for coffee.
Okay, so here's
That
here's
part.
what
Oh
was
no, I
trying to
can't.
get-
I'm neurodivergent. I can't make my own coffee, bro. It's a pot of
Here's
coffee.
what I was trying to get at. So they're asking to not have to pay money for it.
No. They're saying that in defense of them spending so much on DoorDash every morning for a fucking coffee that comes from the same place, probably costs at least $7 and an additional
15.
tip for your DoorDash would bring, plus the sales tax would bring back to a $15 charge every morning that you wake up. Simply not because you can afford it, but because you have a disability. That's where we're at.
I don't give a fuck what people do. I don't care. You want
That
to
wasn't
pay
the point.
$15 for your coffee?
That once again still was not
Okay,
the
well,
point.
That's what I'm confused about.
The point is that he's look. I don't know if you heard the whole spiel.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's all I needed to
The
hear.
whole
That's
he
all
just
I
said
needed
the
to
whole.
hear.
He gave a whole spiel about disabilities right before this, and then I'm saying I think it's crazy that people will go to the extent to be like, I'm a victim and I deserve to be attended to. That's why I DoorDash coffee. It's like
It's
good,
not because
cool.
they have the money. It's because they think they deserve to have someone bring it
Oh.
to them instead of making it
They
themselves.
gotta watch Pee Wee
It's-
Herman. You haven't
Well,
seen
so
his
like,
fucking
don't get me
morning
wrong.
routine?
Do whatever you want. I don't care. I just think it's funny in saying it's in the name of a disability half the time when making a cup of coffee
First
is the
and
easiest fucking
foremost,
thing to
you
do.
can't just bring up Pee Wee Herman's morning routine like I don't have fucking what's the writer's morning routine in the back pocket fucking Las Vegas always fucking I'm saying the fucking
You're
Fear
thinking
and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, you're thinking
What's
of
his name? Fucking whatever.
One of you will get it before me,
Right.
I promise.
I don't want to
Ah,
think. I
fuck,
don't
he
wanna
has
think
his own
about
former.
it.
He has
Johnny Depp.
no gonzoism is his former journalism.
Journalism.
Journalism. Yeah.
But fucking.
That guy's morning routine is a fucking joke and a
No,
half.
I'm just saying, like if you
Hunter S. Thompson,
That
dude.
guy.
Have you
Fuck,
seen
I
Pee
can't
Wee
believe I
Herman's
couldn't
morning
think
shit,
of that.
though? It's like, bro,
Yeah, I've seen
you can
it.
find a way to have machines make your coffee, bro. Marbles, all you need is marbles, a Richter set.
But even that
Cocaine.
is separate because he's buying the beans. He's buying the
No,
beans.
Pee
He
Wee
has
Herman,
this
not
set up at
him.
his house. He has this set up at his house. He's buying the beans. He's like all of this function. This is like his function type.
Oh
shit.
yeah, people were also saying buying groceries and stuff is taking away from like if you're a single person, taking away from families and taking away from like other
People hate spending time in the grocery store now.
people, taking away from
and
other.
that's not because they don't have the money to buy the
There's apps
groceries.
for that.
There are apps for
There's
that.
apps for that.
But if you're
Deliver
gonna use the
groceries.
apps, don't act like you have a disability, so you need to use them.
No, people were
just admit that you're a fucking lazy piece of shit who's willing to pay for convenience.
There was people also saying like, am I supposed to just like make a couple sandwiches and let the rest go to waste?
No, you're supposed to eat the rest, you dumb fuck. Make a bigger sandwich.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Honestly, like I said, I think these kids are cooked. I'm not gonna lie, or they're not. They're because they don't know how to cook.
Bro, where did we see the fucking was it? It was on the movie last night. The fucking a 6-pack of eggs.
Dude, in Scotland, they have 6 packs of eggs.
Dude, imagine your homie saying, "Hey, bro, I'm bringing over a 6er. Get the fucking oven on." Like, what are you
Start the
talking
skillet.
about?
Get that skillet hot. Talking real
I
butter,
wish, bro. A
baby.
6-pack would be like 6-pack of eggs would be like fucking 75 cents.
Not with inflation, they were
$1.
not. It's fucking $77.
Be a dollar would be sick. I'm like, yo,
Bro,
here's $1.
that
Keep
picture
the
of
change.
McDonald's guy, the legs.
Oh, you said life does cost an arm and a
yeah,
leg.
shit costs an arm and a leg now, bro.
Yeah, it was like
No
the
joke.
Ronald McDonald, and there was like a pot just with legs sticking out, like boiling. He's like, "Hey, dude, shit does cost an arm and a leg."
I haven't been on Twitter like at that point probably been like a week and a half, and then the first thing I get on, I was like, "Yeah, bro." I was like, "I hate it here. I gotta get off this now."
Dude, life.
Before I cause some problems.
X getting on X because it's X rated.
Because it's X-rated.
X Games. X this dick. All right, I think we should wrap it up there.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up here.
Hold on, wait. I wanted to show you guys something.
Glad
He
we
wants
could
to
get
show
some
you
really
some.
serious topics and then just absolutely destroy that dude.
Yeah.
We did get into a lot of serious topics. We had some good jokes.
Good jokes.
Good topics.
Nobody
talk-
made jokes where I thought the worst jokes were gonna be made. You know what I
Good.
mean? Like when we were having a real conversation, and I
Yeah,
even
where, like,
thought, there
where
a
it was
couple times
easy.
where I was like, I want to say it. And I was
That's
like,
one.
Nope, we're having a
It's
serious
right there.
That's
conversation.
when we decide not to say it. I think our brains, like, whenever we're like, that's okay, we're quick with it. But I think if we're like, like,
I held
Right.
it back. I didn't. We didn't have to do it. We were having.
I wanted to end this podcast with a
just the arms and
visualization.
legs joke shit whenever we're talking about
visualization of
disabilities.
A visualization of pi being irrational to celebrate Pi Day that recently fucking passed.
I had pizza.
But also,
Hey,
but
what was it?
also because this video is fucking sick. Shout out Guns N' Roses Girl 3 for reposting it. I think it was by fascinating.fractals. But
When
I'm
you were
gonna
talking
show
about when we're talking about disabilities, that's when you should have said, "Yeah, shit's costing an arm and a leg." All right.
just to give you guys an idea, that equation at the bottom is like what you're seeing.
Okay.
But this is the idea that I guess pi. I guess pi can be irrational. I don't even know really. I'm
So
not.
pi creates the
mathematic.
flower
So
of
look
life.
at that.
Well, part of this is
To a degree, it's like if it's irrational, it's like right off. Then it continues to go round and round and round and round and round.
Is that
and
a
round
Taurus?
dating reality.
So it creates like the flower of life in the Taurus also.
And the mandala, right?
That's crazy.
Oh, that's
That's
yeah, dude.
3.14159.
People, like in
Sure.
like so, what is it? I can't remember if it's India or it's definitely somewhere in Middle East that they do the mandalas and the
Mhm.
cloth and everything.
Look at
It's
this.
like that's wild.
This shit's kind of fucking crazy. It's the moon, dude.
If that's like
Why
how
the
existence-
moon?
It's the dune,
Dude,
and
Okay.
it ever so slightly
Dune.
missed that line.
I'm a doing you. I'm doing to you.
that's pretty crazy.
Doing things I'll doing to you.
But
And that popcorn bucket. Hey.
People are obsessed with Zendaya.
Yeah, dude, I'm obsessed with that
Like that's been, like, a
sandworm.
thing.
I'm obsessed with the sandworm.
I didn't know you rolled that way.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to see what the sandworm's gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
What's that sandworm doing? You know what I'm saying?
Trying to get it dig a hole in you. Talking about?
Hey, watch Dune 2. Fuckers. Watch Dune 1, then watch Dune 2. It's great. Masterpiece. Cinema. Movies. Film. Actors. Camera.
Michael
Hafters.
Jackson.
No.
Nope, we're bringing
Hey,
it back.
word? Word?
Just circle this around.
You had something else you wanted?
Go Celtics, dude. Fuck yeah, we're
Yeah, you
killing
just
it
bring it up
this
stuff.
year.
No one wants to see that shit.
Hey,
Alright.
dude, I'm not. It's not even fucking. That's on us right now. Dude.
Dune
I'm just
2.
on Twitter. It's like my D. Go watch
I hope
Ricky
you guys
Stanicki.
can,
Ricky
do
Stanicki.
something positive for somebody today.
Yeah, show some love. Be nice. Thank you guys for tuning in. Ricky Stanicki, Dune 2. Thank you for those who do watch. Y'all are the fucking best. We fucking love you guys. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your coworkers. Tell the homeless guy on the street. They might have a phone. I've seen it.
Squatters.
Tell the person
your
you're having-
squatters. Tell all
Tell
your
the person
squatters.
you're having an affair with on your left. Tell
Whoa.
her too, and her
Whoa.
family. They need to
That
know.
was heavy.
Fine and
That was
dandy.
heavy.
The
It
podcast.
might be having an affair with the squatter.
They might be. Watch out for your
Hey,
home.
we're squatting on this
Check your
shit.
shed. Check your fucking tool shed.
Oh, my God. Deucers.